Welcome to those who've been watching Saudi Pro League soccer. Good to have you with us. You're watching now America's Day at the Races, live action from Aqueduct in South Ozone Park, New York, and Tampa Bay Downs from Florida. It's all ahead. Program brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. For the love of the race, visit americasbestracing.net today. Greg Wolf, New York Racing Association handicapper. Andy Serling. We're getting into the late pick 5 coming up and an interesting weekend ahead with a lot of stakes action at Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no, they have a couple of their race, the Pasco and the Gasparilla, some may be familiar with. Irad Ortiz is riding at Tampa tomorrow, and I don't know if that says the race at Tampa are big, or maybe it just says there's not much going on at Gulfstream Park, but Irad Ortiz will be there, and I think his average odds will be around 4 to 5.
If not lower.
Yeah, if not lower.
Usually how it works out with him. Let's take a look at what is ahead, presented by Claiborne Farmer. Fast here, fast and firm at Tampa. Their feature race on the grass. Wesley Ward with a filly going for her 3rd straight win. And that feature race later today. We'll bring you races 4 through 8 here, races 5 through 9 at Tampa. And you can play it all by getting signed up with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. That's the offer for new members. That $200 deposit match. New customer bonus, promo code, bonus 200. Punch that in at sign up and you're good to go. Get that offer at nairabets.com. So we are 4 minutes away from kicking off this late pick 5 here at Aqueduct. And it will begin with this non-winners of 3 lifetime $25,000 claiming race, all for sale for that price, 1-turn mile.
Yeah, this is a tricky race, mostly because the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd most likely winners were all scratched.
Yeah.
So you're left with a lot of horses that probably, if you handicap the race ahead of time, you may or may not have been too enamored with it. If you like somebody in there, you're not getting the price you would have gotten.
Now, the one who we'll get to the favorite in a minute, the 1A, 2B went by. Here's the 3 Last Glory, 6-1.
Yeah, had to win 2 races back. Does drop back to a more realistic level after being placed way over her head last time.
Little surprising. Follow your arrow. This short of a price.
Yeah, she has the speed, but her getting a mile seems unlikely, and she's coming off a very, very strongly bias-aided victory.
Rick Tutcho Jr. Barn, tipsy runner.
What do you do with a closing turf sprinter that's suddenly running a mile in the dirt?
Probably pass.
Probably, but then you go off the race. We should have just trusted Rick Dutrow.
7-2 on Coquito, Rudy Rodriguez.
I picked this horse because the race is 2 and 3 back at Finger Lakes could win here, but not with a lot of confidence.
Get free Equibase past performances, all the races we're showing you on this program. Go to naira.com/TV schedule and follow along. 3 minutes away from this 4th race to kick off this late pick 5 sequence. 3-2 favorite as we bring in Maggie Wolfendale. That is the 4 in here. Maggie, follow your arrow. Is going to try and lead this group all the way in the front.
Yeah, you would have to think so, Greg, as she's going to try to stretch out in distance. And while she's about the most calm before a race that I have ever seen her, she'll go first off the claim here for Wayne Potts, which does bode well for her trying to get a longer distance for the first time. I can't say that I'm overwhelmed. Convinced that looking at her physically, she'll be able to handle it. She is a little bit more compact, and just at a short price, are you willing to take a horse that is trying to do something for the first time? So overall, though, she looks fantastic. I mean, if you were just blindly picking horses without a form in front of you, you would peg her as the horse that is the best turned out, but I'm still not willing to take a short price on her trying to go this far. As we'll move on to one that is a big price here for Jamie Nez. A part of the 1 entry that stays in is the 1A, Ribbons in Her Hair, as she's one I actually saw last year at Oaklawn, though this is her first Naira start back in April, and I thought she looked fantastic, running for 30, finishing 2nd that day behind a well-backed and a horse that was kind of on a roll at that point in Greek Heiress. She doesn't look like the same horse. She doesn't look as good, but then again, I've thought that about Jamie Ness horses in the past, and they still run better than I think they will. I don't mind, actually, the stretch out in distance for her. She is a little bit longer framed, and throughout her sprint races, she's always having to be niggled at, having to ask for more, and is unable to kind of make up the deficit that she leaves herself. So I do think stretching out should help her. I just wish she looked a bit better from that overall standpoint, though you are getting a good price at 7-1 on her. I am going to fault for Coquito as well here with Andy. Again, lacking confidence, but I just thought maybe a little better price than your current favorite. And at least you know she's already established herself as wanting to go longer. Hopefully she can do it without the lead. That's my one drawback with her. Is she a horse that can be as effective without getting to the front? Because I doubt she does so over Follow Your Arrow. But she's really well turned out here for Rudy Rodriguez. I wanted to save judgment after I watched her warm up, and she really warmed up nicely for Romero Mirage. So we'll see how she does today. At least she's outside of your favorite, Greg.
Yeah, 3-1 right now on Coquito. Back with Rudy Rodriguez. Favoritism staying with the filly, who everyone's expecting to lead the way here on the stretch out.
Well, she's going to be in front as she gets out of the gate. And even if she doesn't, she may get to the front. She has speed, but her talent, listen, this is not a particularly strong field. I wish I could book her at 8-5. I think she shouldn't even be the third choice in this race, but she is the speed. She's got to get a mile. And she's also coming out of a barn that's been pretty hot over the last couple of months. But she also rode what was as extreme a bias as you'll ever see on December 27th, carrying horses, which is why she ran an exaggerated Beyer speed figure. It doesn't appear to be the case today. While the rail seems to be okay, it's not propelling horses. And I'm puzzled as to why the public is falling so badly for her. But it's hard to really make a strong case for anybody else. I mean, Maggie and I like the 6, but we both would acknowledge that it's a flawed pick. The 1A, well, that's the half of the entry that didn't look any good, if you want to go that. They're betting on the 2B, Bell of the Ball. Now, I could see taking her at 5-1, but she hasn't run well in a long time, and her only mile race was terrible, but it's Linda Rice.
Well, okay efforts at 7/8.
Yeah, but her recent form leaves something to be desired. She seems to be tailing off. She can win here. Anyone can win. I just believe this is a very bad favorite. That's all. She was 5-1. You wanted to bet her fine, but not
anywhere in the sequence that you felt there was a key horse to maybe hone in on?
I mean, I think one of the
more than Grace is probably going to get a lot of attention.
Yeah, that'll be one of the bigger favorites. The 8 horse in the 6th race, though. I'm trying to beat her with the 4 home wrecker. I think the card gets a little bit more interesting as we go on during the day. Last race, a very good race.
Yeah, here we go. Late pick 5 starts here. Chris Griffin to kick things off.
And they're off. Bell of the Ball breaks smoothly from the outside, and in between horses, here comes Tipsy Runner to join the early fray, and Follow Your Arrow is now quickest. Follow Your Arrow towards the inside as the leader is up by a full length, and here comes Coquito, is now a challenging second. Out wider is Bell of the Ball. Just in behind the leader now, here comes Last Glory, is now going to challenge for third and does get third. As towards the outside is Bell of the Ball, who's now back to fourth. The 2 at the back will be Tipsy Runner and Ribbons in Her Hair. Tightly bunched as they went 23.53, an easy opening quarter mile there for Follow Your Arrow, and Manny Franco controlling the tempo and doing it easily is up by 2. Right there chasing is Coquito, and Romero Mirage from second, and at the rail shoved along is Last Glory. Is that challenging third with Bell of the Ball, they're third and fourth. Right in behind them, Ribbons in Her Hair is looking for a seam, and the trailer is a wide run from Tipsy Runner. 47 seconds flat for half mile time, no excuses for Follow Your Arrow. Follow Your Arrow has had it all her own way, is still up by 2. Coquito's trying to cut into the margin. Here comes Ribbons in Her Hair. Ribbons in Her Hair now find the clear running room, and here comes Ribbons in Her Hair is chasing from third. Trying to make up ground, Bell of the Ball. Making hard work of it right now is Last Glory in the trailer, Tipsy Runner. They reach the top of the stretch. Follow Your Arrow tries to kick free. It's Follow Your Arrow, but they continue to chase to the outside in Coquito. And here comes Coquito, and Ribbons in Her Hair is in between horses, is ready to challenge as Coquito. Coquito to the outside of Follow Your Arrow. Ribbons in Her Hair is still in third, is going to move to the outside. Coquito is trying to find the wire now. Ribbons in Her Hair is finding new life towards the outside. Now about to challenge for second, but Coquito and Romero Mirage, they're going to get the victory. Follow Your Arrow, very game, holds second over Ribbons in Her Hair and Bell of the Ball in 1 minute 39.67 seconds.
Coquito with the win, third win, 9 career starts. Romero Mirage and Rudy Rodriguez team up.
He was the one who was the closest to the 4 Follow Your Arrow, and that one, not surprisingly, kind of stopped top of the stretch. She was able to get by him. Now, to Follow Your Arrow's credit, she was packing it in. It felt like coming to the 8th pole, and somehow the 1A, Ribbons in Her Hair, couldn't even catch her. You may want to mark her down as one to play against going forward, and I think Follow Your Arrow ran better than she expected. Coquito was in the right spot, and I think sometimes, and Maggie will agree, we both like the 6, but we wouldn't put it on our highlight reels of horses that we loved, but in this particular case, she managed to get the job done.
6, 4, 1A. Favorite defeated with the co-second choice to kick off this late Big Five here at 5-2. Coquito getting by the speedster, who we all sort of expected to do this in the stretch.
I didn't expect her to hold on for second.
Hung around later, yeah, than probably most thought. Although did go off the favorite. I say most.
She ran better than reasonable people might have expected her to run in this race. But as it always turns out, it's really a question of who's behind you, though I have no... Man, if you had a 6-1 here, I mean, the only thing you're worried about would be 1-6. It seemed like a better chance it would be 1-6 coming past the 8th bowl than it would be 6-4. But that's the way racing goes sometimes.
So Coquito to kick things off on our Friday coverage here on FS2. Getting by the one set in the pace early. And yeah, ribbons in her hair. Little disappointing, not able to get by. That one on the front end winds up third. 6, 4, 1A, 2B. We're going to take a timeout. Horse of the year, is this her? We're going to find out soon. Less than 2 weeks away from the Eclipse Awards. Torpedo Anna ready to wrap that up. Flavian Pratt give him the top award, his first in his career for outstanding jockey. And Chad Brown looks like more hardware coming his way as well. Stay with us. Back with you on our Friday coverage here on Fox Sports 2. America's Day at the Races, brought to you in part where you can play it all Naira Bets. Go to NairaBets.com, bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Going to have to wait to bet Oaklawn, though. Severe weather, snowstorms, has forced the cancellation of the entire weekend of racing, so they will not be back in action until next week, starting on the 17th.
We may at some point, though, have some video footage of Paulie shoveling people's driveways out. You know, Paulie's doing what he can.
We sent him a toboggan.
I'm just disappointed we don't get any kind of weather report. They have weather there, and Paulie's not here for his weather report. You and I might be as disappointed as he is. We miss Paul.
He does have a talent for it.
He's the man.
But yeah, we hope that thaws out quickly. Everyone stay safe, stay warm, and we hope to see them back in action again next Friday on our coverage. Coquito back here at Aqueduct kicks off the late pick 5. Romero Mirage aboard for Rudy Rodriguez with the win.
And Romero has a real opportunity here this winter to get a chance to show people how good a rider he is. And listen, he's never going to be in the upper echelon of this riding colony, but what he is a very, very talented rider who doesn't get in the way of his horses. You know, he's aggressive when need to be. He puts them in the right spot, as he did in this race, and I'm looking forward to Romero getting some opportunities this winter, especially with Dylan going to Florida. I think Dylan won 3 races yesterday, to get more chances, and he will make the most of them.
$7.70 starts to the late pick 5 with Coquito earning this victory. That's 3 wins last 4 starts for this 4-year-old filly. Last 2 came at Finger Lakes before that defeat to try and keep that win streak intact.
Back-to-back for Rudy, too, right?
We'll set up the 5th in a moment. First off, Tampa.
This is...
And race 5, mile and a 16th. Starter optional claiming races. We look at Sweeping Giant.
Yeah, Sweeping Giant is second off, not really a layoff. I didn't run that badly last time, but still got beaten over 6 lengths by the favorite.
Yeah, Golden One Stalmy Royal finished in front of that one. Here's Holiday Fantasy.
Unless you believe this trainer is going to dramatically move this horse forward, he just appears to be over his head off the claim for a low level.
This one was a couple of lengths in front of Sweeping Giant last start.
It's interesting. Golden Juan, as the favorite, is probably the speed of the race, but was content to sit behind this horse last time and easily beat him. Probably same thing happens today.
Here's Golden Juan. Yeah, 4-length score against that one last out.
I'm not sure what's going to happen to change that result today. I'm not taking him really a big shot that it won't.
Yono first off the claim.
Looks to be very overmatched. Another one off the claim.
22-1 next door. This is Grand Daniel. One first time out, and it's been a little bit of a struggle since, although improved last start.
Yeah, did run the best race he's ever run from a speed figure standpoint, but it's still probably not good enough.
Here is Grazer.
This horse's form has completely left him since coming to Tampa from Delaware.
No match for Golden Juan, Stalmy Royal last time out. And then Street Glide on the outside, 5-2.
Yeah, I do feel like he'll run better today. You know, he's run too well in the past to just take his last at face value. So I agree with the public that he is the most likely upsetter in this race.
Remind everyone you can earn a 20% bonus today when you hit a double at Tampa Bay Downs. Opt in at NYRABets.com for that 20% double bonus this afternoon. Take advantage. Don't leave any money on the table. If you're playing at Tampa this afternoon, opt in. Do not forget to take advantage of that. Good
I'm going to opt in right now. I guess not, because they decided to be on camera while I was trying to opt in. I can show people how easy it is. It's so easy to opt in, even I can do it. I think. Maybe
yes,
not.
We make it very easy.
No,
but
it is
sometimes
easy, yeah.
I have forgotten that step. Do not forget that.
You gotta
if you are
opt in,
playing.
Want to get it and see what happens at Tampa. I thought maybe there were some horses interesting in the 7th race, first time on the grass.
January 23rd. We having a watch party?
No. Are you watching? Have you ever watched the Eclipse Awards?
I thought we could hang out in the city maybe, get a place to put it on.
You think any places in the city are having special nights devoted to the Eclipse Award? I think for Insomniacs.
It happens. I'm excited about it. January 23rd. We'll see. There's some big categories out there that we don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, let's go through them. We know Citizen Bull's going to win. We just went by this. I guess Raging Sea has a chance to be dramatic. I've seen a lot of people were voting for Raging Sea. National Treasure will probably win the older dirt mail, as he should in the flawed year. I like Johannes. I'd vote for Johannes, the turf horse. I thought he had the most complete year. One of your favorite horses, Moira.
Love Moira.
She's likely to win. Though I'm a big fan of She Feels Pretty, but based on the Breeders' Cup win. Straight Up Chaser will probably beat Cogburn. Sullivan Angel is an imperfect winner. Snap Decision. Chad Brown should win. I mean, I understand that there's some confused people that think Ken McPeak deserves it over Chad Brown. I don't know how you look at the numbers and come to that conclusion, but what do I know?
Flavian Pratt will collect his first Eclipse Award.
He is a
well-deserved. What an incredible year. He was one of the great stories, along with Torpedo Anov last year.
I agree. No, I agree. Flavian was sensational, and that's not to say that Tyler and Irad had very, very good years, but not the kind of year that Flavian Pratt had. And, 2 years after coming to New York, one of the reasons he came here was to help him win an Eclipse Award, well, it happened.
Yeah, amazing. It was a bit of a risk taking that move, as good as he is, but he's
good. Man, he's a good rider.
Made it work out, no question. And he sort of changed the whole landscape of things out here as well, because he's taken some big mounts from a lot of people.
He has, and he's also the rider that's ready to be aggressive if need be. And I think you might see riders get a little more aggressive watching Flavien, because it has to be a little bit difficult to see him wire a field with a horse with no speed and ask yourself, how did I let that happen? At some point, I think some of the riders are going to catch on.
Back to this fifth here at Tampa. So even money on Golden Juan. Everyone believing he can do what he did last time again here. Second off a short layoff.
And I don't see any strong reason to play against. I mean, I could see Street Glide getting back to that good form, but I wouldn't take 5-2 for that to happen, because his last race was bad. And it's not like the Post did him any major favors here. They've got to beat the 4.
He's won, I believe, well, certainly at least his last 4 at Tampa. 5 for 8 Golden Juan at Tampa Bay Downs.
Yeah.
Short price. See what happens. Here's Jason Beam with the call.
Street Glide. Samuel Marin going to complete the line. Ready to start that late pick 5. Street Glide goes in. They're in the gate. And the race is on. Holiday Fantasy toward the inside was away well. Golden Juan is flashing some speed. Stymie Royal. Grazer also forwardly placed, as is Street Glide. As up on the front end, it's going to be Golden Juan. The favorite now goes to a narrow advantage. Down at the inside, Holiday Fantasy trying to hold that rail spot. Stymie Royal's in between horses. Street Glide out wide. Grazer's away 5th. It's down on the inside. Comes Sweeping Giant 6th. They're very tightly packed here. The top 6 only separated by 3.5. It's a length and a half more back to the 2 at the back. Yono and Grand Daniel. As up front, Golden Juan stacks them up in behind. It's Golden Juan, 3/4 of a length to Street Glide, 25 seconds for a pedestrian open and quarter mile. Golden Juan onto the back stretch. Sonny Leone rationing out that speed, now a length in front. A Street Glide in second. Then comes a lineup of 3. Holiday Fantasies toward the inside. Stymie Royal between horses. Grazer out wide. 5th and only 2.5 off the lead. It's a break of a length and a half more back to Sweeping Giant, who's 4 lengths adrift. After that, Yono, Grand Daniel still trails. 48-4 the opening half-mile time, so they sped it up just a little bit down the back stretch, but Golden Juan still going comfortably. Golden Juan to the far turn, a length and a half. Street Glide given the cue to go after that one from second. Down along the inside, Holiday Fantasy comes into the race pretty well from third. It's another length back to Grazer. Sweeping Giant is 5th, still about 5.5 behind is Golden Juan. Everyone riding hard in behind, but up front, Sonny Leone still chilly on Golden Juan. Golden Juan, the leader to the top of the lane. Street Glide trying to take another crack at this long-time leader. Holiday Fantasies to the inside. Then comes Grazer. Behind horses, Sweeping Giant. Golden Juan now gets shaken up just a touch. The lead's out to 2. Street Glide down to the inside. Holiday Fantasy. Sweeping Giant between horses. But a final 16th to go. Golden Juan in command. This was a walk in the park here for Golden Juan. Golden Juan at 3-5. Won it by 3.5 in the end. Street Glide looked to get second from Sweeping Giant. Holiday Fantasy. Grazer was 5th.
Golden Juan keeps on rolling at Tampa Bay. That was as easy as could be. Now 6 for 9 at this track.
And once nobody challenged him early, we didn't see the 3 showing that speed. He's able to control. A good job by Marin getting the 8 in position outside, but just not good enough, especially to play the 4's game. And he's now 6 for 9 in the third at Tampa. It's pretty impressive for a horse who's running at a somewhat lower level.
And fans might remember that name, who was on board for this win. He had a pretty big win in his career.
Yeah, I think he won a race in Kentucky once a couple of years ago.
Horse named Rich Strike.
Propelled him to Tampa.
Sonny Leone.
Rich Strike is standing somewhere at stud, was it?
That was a terrific ride, wasn't
Pennsylvania? It was. It was a great ride. Great ride.
We will be back. We got more coming up. Late pick 4 next. This is our current favorite in this 5th race. First-time starter for Jorge Abreu. Jose Lezcano will ride Royal Bobby. Debut coming up next.
Idiomatic in front, 16th to go in the Judd Montt colors. Florent Giroux aboard. Idiomatic to win the Grade 1 Judd Montt Spinster.
Idiomatic is taking the lead. Clarion trying to squeeze through, but it's going to be Idiomatic to win.
And Idiomatic just opens back up here with every stride. No catching. Idiomatic winning the Judd Montt Spinster for Florent Giroux.
Curlin, the classic sire.
Horse racing? Check. Weekly promotions? Got 'em. Huge payouts? You bet. With Naira Bets. Download the app today and bet on any track, anywhere, anytime with live HD horse races, betting tips and tutorials, expert picks, and more. You bet with Naira Bets. Join now for a new member bonus at NairaBets.com.
Introducing Peace and Justice, new to New York in 2025. A proven sire with 200 winners, 16% winners lifetime, and one of only 2 New York-based stallions to have a graded stakes winner at Saratoga in 2024. Now, with 3 different racing surfaces coming to New York, and with New York breds running for equal purses as open company, Peace and Justice is the sure choice for 2025. Peace and Justice, now standing at Irish Hill and Duchess View Stallions in New York.
There's a big, bold, beautiful world waiting to be explored by you and your friends, of course. But not just any friends, the best of friends. The kind of friends who let you do you. Because in this world, it's positive vibes only. And when you get in the zone here, you stay a while. These aren't just good times, they're the best of times. And your time is now. So come explore. Resorts World.
Back with you on our Friday coverage. America's Day at the Races brought to you in part by Hill and Dale at Alapa. As we get set for the 5th race coming up for these New York breds in a maiden special weight, all trying to get that first win of their career coming up. And for this one right here, making the first start of her career debut for Royal Bobby, 3-year-old filly trained by Jorge Abreu, will debut at a tough distance to debut out here at 7 furlongs.
It does seem, however, though, when you see Jorge Abreu's firsters taking money, they deliver. And Royal Bobby maybe found the right field. Willful Mamu, who's going to be favored by post time in all likelihood, is the deserving favorite. I got to tell you, though, I felt like a firster would probably beat her. That's why I picked the one, Julieta, on a guess with David Duggan.
Let's go downstairs to Maggie.
Yeah, we'll kick it off here with that first-time starter taking the money, guys, at number 5, Royal Bobby, a daughter of Mendelssohn. The dam, she won a dirt sprint, though. This one have to Raw Courage, who, wasn't the greatest of runners in the world. But if you go back a generation, the dam is have to Warrant, a graded stakes winner going long on the main track. She's also have to Miss Locust Point, multiple stakes winner, graded stakes winner too, of dirt sprint. So I really do like the 7 furlongs that she debuts at. She may eventually want to go a little bit longer. She's very tall, leggy. There's a lot of her. She's kind of a bit raw looking overall. So there's still some development to do. But on the flip side of that, she goes out for Jorge Abreu, who just time and time again brings his horses over looking ready. As a trainer, there's no stone left unturned by him because they're fit, they're defined, and they're strong. And she's been very professional here in the paddock. Wearing blinkers, just a short cup cheater blinker, first time out here. So we'll see. Does she have any early speed? She's not built like one that should, but then again, with the money that she's taking, it's a possibility. Down on the rail is the one in here, Julieta for Dave Duggan, daughter of Honor AP. It's the dam, she was a little better sprinting on the turf, though there was a half sibling that did win on all surfaces, or at least handled it. And looking at her, she looks as though this is a fine spot for her to debut at. A little bit on the smaller side, but then again, incredibly athletic, just very, very well balanced, really well muscled in here. You know, Dave Duggan, his horses, it doesn't matter what level they're running at, every single one of them is very well turned out. Now, she's very laid back, so she's kind of, is this just me schooling in the paddock? She's not giving me the indication that, oh, I'm going to go out there and be a winner first time out, though things may change when she hits the racetrack. She's very kind of quiet and I don't want to say clueless, but that's kind of the vibe she's giving off, as she does wear a very short cut cheater blinker here in her debut. But both these firsters, Greg, making excellent impressions so far in the paddock.
All right, Maggie, thank you. We'll see which one of these first-time starters, if any of them, can step up and surprise here. Tough, too. And there's David Duggan. He's got a first-time starter with a bullet, quickest of 205 runners in the morning on December the 8th out of the gate.
His firsters have been very live over the last few months, and a lot of them had speed too, which would help a horse breaking from the rail. Now, obviously, Maggie doesn't have the same kind of confidence necessarily that this horse will be ready to go first time that Royal Bobby is. We'll see. The money is certainly showing for Royal Bobby, and that's usually a very good sign for Jorge Abreu.
6 to 1 right now on this one here, Halita. So for Duggan, and yeah, Willful Mama, you talked about this deserving favorite, no question, 3 to 1. The Dam produced some good ones. My Main Squeeze, Rotney, Mama's Gold. They've all produced some very big races in their careers. This one, though, has had a couple opportunities on dirt already, and doesn't appear to be that kind of quality horse to this point.
Yeah, my feeling with Willful Mama is she's going to win when none of the firsters are that good. But I just thought a firster, even 7 furlongs first out, and you pointed that out, and I agree, it can be a little bit trying. It just seemed like a race that was crying for a firster. Not that she can't win, but will be interesting to see. Maybe the firster will be favored over Willful Mama. We'll see.
Right now, the other firster, for Jorge Abreu is favored. Royal Bobby, Jose Lezcano will be aboard there. As we kick off the post parade with David Duggan's 3-year-old filly debuting, Julita.
Yeah, I took a shot with her. We'll see if this horse, there's not a ton of pedigree to speak of. The second dam was pretty good, though.
Willful Mama has the dirt experience, start number 3 on the dirt.
And she ran fine last time. I don't think it was a giant effort, but it'll be good enough to win here unless the firster's okay.
And maybe shortening up a furlong could help a touch.
Might, yeah. Not going to argue with that.
Kara's Dream Weaver, start number 3 on the dirt.
She didn't come close to the 2 last time. I'm not sure why you should expect her to today.
8 to 1 right now. She will get Lasix. Here come a couple of firsters. Juliana's Dream, huge price.
Yeah, she's just taking no money, and she actually is the one who's related to more good horses on the dam side.
Here's still your favorite for Jorge Abreu, Royal Bobby.
Yeah, you got to think the money's meaningful. There's not a lot of pedigree to speak of.
Tower 22, 3 sprints. There she is, and now stretches to 7.
She's running maiden claiming races, now the New York bred races. She's taking some money, but she's going to have to get faster. I'm surprised she's only single digits.
Robbie Davis with daughter Jackie aboard, bank on BB.
Just did no running in her one, started over 40 to 1.
And interesting first-time starter on the outside, shipping in for Michael Trombetta.
Yeah, now it's more of a turf family. If you look up the pedigree, it feels like turf, but Mike's a dangerous guy, and this horse is taking some nibbles at least. But right now, the board is just saying 2 and 5 and nobody else.
Yeah. Get the inside track on handicapping with NyraBet's Track Stats. Want to know how many winners are closing from the back of the pack at Aqueduct? Track Stats has the answer. For more stats on tracks across the country, visit nyrabets.com. Back to Julita, as we're 3 minutes away from this 5th race here to kick off the late pick 4 on this Friday card. David Duggan, been a renaissance for him the last couple of years, and he may have a talented first-time starter here. We'll see.
What I liked is I like the fact that David seems to be picking up more business and getting more horses, and it's a direct result of him doing a very good job. And when you're at a track like we are here all the time, you get more familiar with the players. But I don't think that a lot of other people necessarily notice the people that are sort of under the radar. And David's been kind of under the radar. He did very well with the white horse, the closer.
Drafted,
right, and that got him some attention. But I think more than that, he should get attention because his horses run well, and he's a solid trainer. His firsters have run well. Now, this one's, a little bit chilly on the board right now, is going up, but he's had some prices that have run well also. I'm glad to see him getting a chance to do better, and I think he will do well. 2
best years in terms of earnings of his entire career came over the last 2 years, 23 and 24. Another great year last year as well. As we go down to Maggie.
And it's reflective in what you see with his horses, as he and his wife Laura very hands-on with their horses, galloping them themselves, attentive on the racetrack. So it's no surprise that the winners are rolling in, and the respect that he is receiving is long overdue. As we'll see what Julita does here. Like I said, I don't mind her as a physical. I just don't know if mentally we're going to see her best effort at first asking, as we'll check in with another first-time starter on the outside. As Andy indicated, Mike Trombetta always dangerous in shipping in here, and this horse has been at Fair Hill. So oftentimes people don't know what to do with horses shipping in from Fair Hill because there's no official clockers, and you can't really, there's not many people to watch these horses in their preparations. Andy also pointed out that there's more turf, and you can kind of see that with her because she's a little bit of a leaner type. She's not as muscle bound as some of your tried and true dirt horses. So still wondering and if she needs one to strengthen up or if this is really going to be her preferred surface. Obviously being a New York bred and getting ready when she has, there's really no other option for her. So I would take the wait and see approach as we'll check in with the horse who's just clicked over to favoritism, the one with experience, number 2, Willful Mama. Like I said, we'll see how much speed the first-time starters have, but Willful Mama giving every indication that she should be forward, if not on the lead. I know she's turning back a little bit here to the 7 furlongs, but I'm okay with that. She's actually a little bit more smaller and compact, and she's very aggressive in her demeanor here. I know she does feel like one that the seconds are adding up, and she's been unable to break through, especially being well beaten last time by Straka, Dave Duggan, of course. But I felt as though she was attending a pace that was very quick, and Straka just got the perfect stalking trip from off of that pace. So I do feel as though that Willful Mama is the right favorite in here. She's made every right impression on me, Greg.
There she is. Thank you, Maggie. 3-2 favoritism now. Debuted on dirt, a couple of tries on grass, went back to dirt, and maybe 7/8 will be just perfect for her.
Yeah, listen, the experience helps, and she has some speed, and I agree with Maggie. I thought the figure came back a little high for the winner. Now, it came in line for other horses like Kara's Dreamweaver, but I kind of want to see it again. But she did run well in there. Maggie made good points. We're talking about Soho Nights, and she brought it up, and it's obvious. Mike's not going to ship this horse to Florida as a New York bred. He's going to wait to run here for the turf. He knows the horse's pedigree, but I think maybe he probably wants to see if the horse can run a little bit on the dirt. Can't hurt to try and at least give the horse a race. And, Greg, we're only 3 months away from turf racing. Well,
right around the corner.
It's kind of funny because we're 2 months away from it stopping. So it's not like, you know what I mean? If you look at it that way,
yeah,
it's coming pretty soon.
Back to, well, it's going back and forth. I was going to say back to the 5, but the 2, the 5, still 5 hanging in there, taking a lot of money into the teeth of Willful Mama. See what happens here. Late pick 4 begins in this race. Chris Griffin, the call.
And in. All set. And they're off. Standing in the gate, hopping there at the start was Royal Bobby. Royal Bobby is the lone trailer. Right out to the front is Juliana's Dream. Sprints well clear already. In an instant is up by 4 and now tries to slow it down. But Juliana's Dream is the clear leader. Tower 22 is joined towards the outside here, is taken second with Willful Mama is back there in third. Just behind them is Julita. It's at the rail in fourth, and Kara's Dreamweaver is in fifth. Towards the back is Bank on BB, and Royal Bobby after the start is now second to last, 8 lengths off the leader, with the trailer Soho Nights 23.40 as they move into the far turn for that opening quarter mile. They've got less than 4 furlongs to travel, and Willful Mama is ready to engage the leader. Juliana's Dream has tried to slow things down up front and did. At the rail progressing is Julita, and Julita has made up ground to the inside of Tower 22, who's shoved along through a 47.51 half-mile time. Kara's Dreamweaver is trying to rally. Royal Bobby with a tall task is also trying to get out there a little green in the turn as they reach the top of the stretch, and still there, it's Juliana's Dream. Juliana's Dream is trying to fend off the rally of Willful Mama, is just doing that. It's Juliana's Dream who's up by a half length. Juliana's Dream. Willful Mama continues to give chase, and now Willful Mama's going to try one more time, and Kara's Dreamweaver is now rolling down the center of the racetrack, and Kara's Dreamweaver is going to pass on by. Kara's Dreamweaver is now up by a full length, a length and a half. Kara's Dreamweaver gets the victory. Willful Mama, then came Julita, who's in a photo with Juliana's Dream in 1 minute 26 seconds flat.
Kara's Dreamweaver comes and gets them late after a 45-1 shot opened up in front.
Yeah, and horses that did well in here spent a lot of time on the rail. Now, the one rally stalled, they went outside, but not this horse. This horse went outside, got the trip, and was able to make up a big gap. I mean, this horse finished 5 lengths behind the 2 Willful Mama, who really had no excuse chasing the other horse. Stayed inside, easily collared her, and had sort of didn't do any significant running. The 3. Now, we'll get to the 5 because we are going to show the break Royal Bobby. Now, whether or not she's just the first who got left or not will determine by looking at the head-on. I imagine the stewards will conduct an inquiry looking into it. I'm not saying anything happened. No way of knowing without looking at the head-on, but obviously Royal Bobby got left and lost all chance at the start and did make a run at the end.
At this point, Willful Mama, even though she's getting by the 4, it looked like there was trouble, and it was. Kara's Dreamweaver rolling on her outside. Eric Cancel, Mitchell Friedman, and 6th time breaks through, 3rd time on dirt, and does so at a price here at 9-1. Let's go back to the beginning here.
Look at the head-on. It's not going to show you how badly it's got left.
Oh, a while to get out
Yeah,
for the 5.
didn't feel like she was being, I don't know. I saw the guy's arm go up. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to pass judgment on this.
Yeah, so potential.
Now you see the arm go up late, and that is sometimes an situation. There is an inquiry being taking place. And if you can show the pan, you can see, well, you can also see the pan. You can see just how badly this horse gets left.
Potentially, yeah, the 5 here could be declared a non-starter. See what happens. One more look.
It's weird because you do get the impression that gives you the feeling the horse could have been being held. Now, whether it was or not, I don't want to pass judgment on it. The stewards will deal with it.
So that is what the stewards are taking a look at now with that inquiry sign up. Here is the pan view. Keep your eyes again on the 5. Better look at how dramatic the poor start was.
Yeah. Conducting inquiry, they should be announcing that the inquiry is involved. Is don't just put it up. Explain to people. We can do it in the air, but they should put it over the PA. It's because of the 5's break. I'm sure it has nothing to do with anything else. Whether or not this horse gets declared a non-starter or not, I do not know.
But yeah, that is what is up in the air and in question right now. We'll have that for you when we come back. We're going to take a timeout. When we return, stakes action early on the card on Saturday with the ladies. $150,000 purse and a strong duo for that Hall of Famer. Todd Pletcher with Tizzy in the Sky coming off a win, as is Julia Shining, drawn outside. Back with you on our Fox Sports 2 coverage, America's Day of the Race, and there is Kara's Dream Weaver rolling by the favorite Willful Mama for the victory. She was 5 lengths behind her last time out. Big role reversal here, 3-2-1-4 in the rematch.
And I think staying on the rail as long as she did with Eric helped her. You know, you see the way the one who looked like she had a full head of steam just sort of tailed off when they angled out. And I do think horses are being helped by being inside. How strong it is, I don't really know, but I wonder if that kind of helped her. But something happened that she made up a significant amount of distance between her and the two. Just one start later, and her 6th start, too. It's not like she's a second or third time starter. Congrats to Mitch Friedman.
5-1 upset. Kara's Dream Weaver. $13. 60 cents for the win as we went to break. Early pick 5 payoffs, by the way, just over $1,900. Stewards were looking at that start with the 5 as expected. Declared a non-starter, Royal Bobby, for the debut.
Yeah, obviously was not given a fair chance. Now, it didn't help me in the Big 4 and Big 5 because the post-time favorite was Willful Mama.
2 legs in, late pick 5 with 172,000 plus pool. And we've not yet had a favorite. Keep beating favorites.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
And also keep in mind that Kara's Dreamweaver is not 5-1 in the pick 5 and pick 4. Kara's Dreamweaver is 9-1 because none of the money on that horse, went on the 5. It all went onto the 2.
Back to Tampa. This 6th race, 5.5 furlongs. Non-winners of 3 lifetime. Lovey Lee went buys 2 for 44 lifetime. Here's a 5-2 shot Macklin.
Yeah, sorry, let me get caught up in
Sonny
there.
Leone here.
Sorry,
Just
I'm in the wrong race.
better.
Yeah, it seems like one of the horses that can win. I thought it was very logical.
Dr. Perry has been in pretty good form of late for the level.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, this horse has run well in the dirt in the past. I mean, Jose Giangelo does win, but has been in synthetic recently.
It's been all synthetic of late for Jabran.
Yeah, this horse's dirt races seem to be a cut below synthetic.
Kalimba hard to endorse.
No. Yep, I agree. Coming in from Mountaineer and $4,000 claimers.
Too much ain't enough. We know is quick.
Feels like the speed of this race, whether or not it makes them good enough, doesn't look like it on paper.
We've got to see this horse quite a bit in New York for a while. Jakey Byrne.
Yeah, off his recent form, he is not a contender.
Here's the 8, Neon Dion. Second off the claim.
For Deion Sanders fans.
Yeah.
You a Deion Sanders fan?
Oh,
Guy's
yeah.
amazing.
Incredible
Amazing
athlete. I'll get back to it in a minute, but incredible stat I have to tell you about. City Humor, 42-1 right now.
I don't think there'll be too much laughing being done if he wins. So
And
crying.
Indulge at 12-1 on the outside, 0 for 16 this year.
That's Rajiv's brother, I believe, riding that horse. Really? There's now a complete infestation of mirages.
Yes, it is.
I'm not sure I feel
Florida.
about it.
Yeah, someone was talking about Deion Sanders and his baseball career. Those who say and took a shot and say, oh, he was in the baseball. Look at his playoff numbers in the majors. They were incredible. Just incredible.
No, he was an amazing, amazing athlete. I mean, he was terrific in baseball while focusing on football.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and Bo Jackson. They both did something Michael Jordan couldn't do.
It was wasn't hitting a game. It was warm-ups, but I have a Bo Jackson one hit out of the park at the Oakland Coliseum.
You have a ball he hit out of the park?
Yeah.
Really?
From, I believe, 87 maybe?
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Early stakes action on the card on Saturday here at Aqueduct with the ladies. Fillies and mares 4 and up at 1 1/8. And going to break, we talked about that duo for Todd Pletcher. Tizzy in the Sky at 4-5 inside. Outside, he's got Julia Shining at 2-1.
I wonder if the gap will be that big in the odds only because the public loves Julia Shining. But the thought process, obviously, is one of them is loose in the lead and the other one is a pace-dependent closer. So it feels like Tizzy in the Sky has the advantage. She certainly has a tactical advantage.
3 for 6 at the distance. Won 2 of her last 3 starts.
Got this is actually
the Phipps.
This is Julia Shining, isn't it? No, it's Tizzy. I'm sorry. I think. Sorry. Go ahead. Ignore me.
So Kendrick Carmouche, who's aboard for that Top Flight Invitational win. He will be back aboard on Saturday. As for Julia Shining, it was a case of class prevailing in the comeback off a long time away on December 1st.
I think the problem with her, for me, is whether I trust her to run back-to-back races. This is a horse that got a lot of attention because of her pedigree with sort of one of those eye-catching but slow victories at Keeneland. She did win the Demoiselle, but it was not an impressive effort. Mostly she's been on the sidelines for her career. She's been shown up. Be nice to see if she could put some races together and see if she could show some of that promise that she had earlier in her career. You got the speed on the inside. If you're Todd Pletcher, you got a pretty good hand in this race with the first two choices, and one's a speed, one's a closer.
Kind of feel for her a little bit. She's sort of a victim of just having this outrageously big pedigree, and everyone expected probably too much from her. She still runs some she's good, and against this field, she might be too good.
No, you're right.
But she's not this upper-tier echelon star.
Yeah, there are horses who underachieve at short prices that just forever get bet. I agree with you. She's one that I don't know what people were supposed to be expecting out of her when you consider in her debut. It's probably even still there. I think she ran a she ran a 71 Bayern debut. She won the Demoiselle, but they weren't fast races. I actually thought she ran very well in the Ashland when she was third. It just seems like she's most often been derailed by what's ever kept her off the racetrack. And perhaps if she could stay on the track for a prolonged period of time, she could start improving and put things together. She's a neat horse. She's not like she's not talented.
So we have that coming up for you tomorrow. Meanwhile, back to Tampa. Race 6, this 5.5 furlong sprint. Macklin barely beat against tougher company last time out. This was 12,000 non-winners of 3, in for 8 today.
Yeah. You know, I guess it's a logical drop down. It was a non-winners of 3 last time. How much is she really worth? If somebody or he really wants to claim him, go ahead. But it's still a drop down on a horse who's favored. But ran fine last time. Lost to a 3-5 shot.
And an example of how hard Arad Ortiz Jr. works. Never giving up there in a lower level claiming race. That was him on the runner-up. Macklin. Today, it's Sonny Leone, again, that Derby winning rider from Rich Strike a couple of years ago. And yeah, this one, 2-1 favorite, deserving one to beat. Next door, though, Dr. Perry, another player, and another one who's dropping.
Yeah, I mean, the same sort of situation. I know this one ran 5th last time, but it's a sort of similar thing. And I think at this level, aren't the trainers just looking for spots where their horses can run?
Seems that way. Jose D'Angelo trains the 3. And you have to go back to November 23 and then August 23, Saratoga, the last 2 dirt starts for Dr. Perry. It's been all synthetic since.
I can't even remember that horse there. But the thing is, you could argue the horse ran as well, if not better, on dirt than the horse was running on synthetic at the time. So maybe this horse is going back to a surface that she prefers. The numbers for Jose D'Angelo synthetic to dirt are not good. He's 14% with 78 stars and a 98-cent ROI. Nonetheless, this horse might have a little bit more dirt form than some of those synthetic horses.
And it's funny you say you don't remember this horse. This horse went off a favorite at Saratoga and actually was just behind, ran 3rd against a horse you actually did bet on and win when that horse was a big price. Western Gent, I do remember that.
That crazy win when it broke its maiden, when the horse was passed, and it came back on to win for Wayne Lucas.
Pretty funny.
I still get teased about that because I think I did like a lean dance watching it. My friends still tease me about that. Wasn't my first
We all
time.
have our moves trying to get horses home. Jason Beam with the call. Here's the 6 from Tampa.
Will be all set for a start. Today's 6, late pick 4 time. Indulge. Christian Mirage looking for his second winner on the card. Goes in. They're in the gate. One of them's fractious in there. Might have been Neon Dion. Couldn't quite tell. Settling down, though. And the race is on. Dr. Perry came away last. Lovey Lee, the mare, goes right out to the early advantage. Here's Too Much Ain't Enough coming from out of the pack now. Too Much Ain't Enough going to be the quickest to grab the lead. Opens up a length and a half now, 2 on Lovey Lee. Neon Dion, City Humor there on the outside, 3rd and 4th. Then comes Gibran, 5th to the inside of Kalimba, who's 6th in those orange colors. It's 2.5 more back to Macklin, who's 7th, already about 8 or 9 behind. Then comes Burn, Jakey Burn. Dr. Perry's going to have to make up about 10 or 11 in the final 3/8 of a mile to win. It's another 5 back to Indulge. Too Much Ain't Enough blazes an opening quarter in 21 and 4. Too Much Ain't Enough around to the quarter pole, 3.5 length lead to down to the inside. Lovey Lee between horses Neon Dion, City Humor out wide. Gibran and Dr. Perry both starting to make some inroads. They're going to both swing toward the outside. They're 3 and 4 wide respectively, trying to come after Too Much Ain't Enough. Too Much Ain't Enough. Dr. Perry's rolling on the outside, and Dr. Perry easily takes command. Too Much Ain't Enough quickly passed on the outside. Gibran trying to rally up Lovey Lee. But a final 16 to go, and Dr. Perry, a big move there on the turn. Going to win it easily here by about 5 in the end. Second went to Gibran. Up for third was Indulge. Fourth was close, either Burn Jakey Byrne or Lovey Lee.
It had been a while, but yeah, you sort of pointed it out. I mean, the last time this horse had been on the dirt was in a lot tougher company races.
And you knew this race was going to come apart. You could see the almost white Dr. Perry moving on the turn, and just with Macklin not showing up today, this horse just destroyed the field. My gosh.
Dr. Perry, third career victory. Second one coming on dirt. This is next. Cross country pick 5. In about 10 minutes here, beginning with a 6th at Aqueduct to kick it off. Races 6, 7, 8 here from New York, and then races 8 and 9 at Tampa Bay. Begins with a maiden special weight. All trying to get that first career win in the 6 furlong sprint ahead, where the even money favorite is outside the 8 More Than Grace. Had a productive debut for a handle back in November. Interesting first time starter, though, on the rail for Linda Rice, the one Delaware Devil.
Yeah, not taking much money right now in here, but I guess with the 8, the big favorite. But I'll tell you what, Delaware Devil has a lot of pedigree, Greg. You look through a half to Portage, very good runner for Linda Rice. There are good turf horses in there, but a quality road. There's 2 quality road first-time stars, and the other one, Moonlit Drive, has an even bigger pedigree. The dam that went over $1.5 million.
Yeah, so 10-1 right now, Maggie, on the mom, who was a multiple graded stakes winner on 2 different surfaces, but a 9-time winner overall.
Yeah, I remember Acronism. She ran a lot in the Mid-Atlantic region while I was still down there, and she was talented on any surface and could be quite fast as well. As we'll take a look here at one of her foals down on the rail is Delaware Devil. And yes, none of these first-time starters taking a particular amount of money, but looking at her, it's kind of typical Linda Rice. You know, there's a development process when she's dealing with these first-time starters, and it just feels as though while she looks fit enough from a leanness kind of perspective, she just needs to strengthen a little bit, become a little bit more solid and defined overall. And you look at her pedigree, and she is a have to have at it, who is a graded stakes winner on the turf, though one that Linda trained, another half sibling Portage. She was good kind of middle distance dirt races, and she was the only one that was good on the dirt. And while I think that Delaware Devil should be fine on this surface, I wonder if she wants a little bit more ground to work with than this 6 furlongs. She does not project that she's one that's going to have an abundance of speed, at least observing her here in the paddock. One that does, though, is number 3, Taste of Diamonds for Jeremiah Engelhardt. This one is a little bit more turf as well. At least from the pedigree perspective, but this daughter of Bolt Doro looks fine on the main track here today. I don't see why she can't handle it. In fact, she doesn't have a turf hoof at all. She's very much dirt built, but she looks fast. She's broad, she's aggressive in her demeanor. She's been on the bridle ever since she walked in here. She's compact, she's well developed behind the saddle. So she looks like she should have some speed going this 6 furlongs, which I don't know if that makes her a winner of any sort, but it could wreak some havoc possibly, if my predictions are true here, come true, that on your favorite More Than Grace. So Taste of Diamonds, definitely the first time starter that looks the most ready for this debut in this field. Number 6, Moonlit Drive, as you heard Andy say, lovely pedigree, big fan of the Dam by the Moon, but she has produced Full Moon Madness, whose graded stakes placed, and the second dam as well, who was a multiple stakes winning New York bred By the Light. So lovely, lovely pedigree with Moonlit Drive, reflective in what we're seeing from her here in the paddock, and that she's beautifully put together. She's very athletic. She has a very smart kind of, presence about her. But Michelle Nevin, it's, again, the process. It's not necessarily being cranked up to win first time out. It's about getting a future and a career started for these horses. So I'm going to watch her with a lot of interest. She could run well here. I'm not totally sold on it being a winning one, Greg.
Interesting with that pedigree, but not taking any attention. Mom was a multiple grade 1 winner. This is the 4-5 favorite, though. More Than Grace, that debut. It was strong. Runner-up finish back in November. 3-year-old debut for start number 2 coming up when we return.
Seize the Gray wins convincingly. seize the gray. He's going to seize the day in the Pennsylvania Derby.
Seize the gray is still there. Seize the gray wins the Preakness.
Enhance your handicapping with AI Fast Facts, exclusively on NyraBets. Open your NyraBets app, click View Runner Details, and a stat-driven fact will appear for all U.S. thoroughbred racehorses. Download the NyraBets app to start using Fast Facts today.
RaceLens is the most in-depth product in horse racing, with unique features found nowhere else. True odds, predictive analysis, and pace projection. RaceLens. It will change the way you follow horse racing and take your game to the next level.
What's at stake? $1 million purse. Oaklawn Stakes races are where horses step out of the shadows and into the spotlight, and where Triple Crown dreams begin. The Southwest Stakes is coming. It's the race where the legend of Mystic Dan began.
Mystic Dan is turning it on.
And it's back and bigger than ever. Big crowds, big names, and a big old payday.
Mystic Dan, a dominant win.
This is your Oaklawn.
Back with you on our Friday coverage on Fox Sports 2. It's brought to you in part by legendary Claiborne Farm, 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. Race 6, 4 minutes away here in New York at Aqueduct. 6-furlong sprint, maiden special weight for 3-year-old fillies. Here is Delaware Devil. Linda Rice, Jose Lezcano, mentioned the mom, a 9-time winner, was a stakes winner on the dirt.
Be interested to see if these horses start to drift down, because the 7 being the second choice right now is not a great sign for the firsters, and we'll see how the money goes as we get closer to post.
Big price on a David Donk first-time starter that went by the 2. Here's Taste of Diamonds, Jeremiah Englehart.
There's some turf pedigree in this one, but not a lot of dirt, but just taking a little bit of money.
Start number 2 for Homewrecker.
I think this horse is very interesting, had massive trouble in the debut.
Gets blinkers and Lasix. Here's My Daughter's Gift, start number 2 as well.
Hard to endorse this horse.
Stepping big, step up in class. Showed a little bit of speed first out. Moonlit Drive, the big pedigree, taking no money.
Yeah, not a good sign here. Michelle's horses often, Michelle Nevin, the trainer, need a start.
Productive debut at Parks for Would You Could You.
Yeah, we'll see. This horse shows some speed.
And all the money here, More Than Grace for the second-time starter.
Probably win if she clears. She did lose to a good horse first time, but we'll see if she can run back to her debut in her second start at a short price.
Let's go back to the debut. The winner of this race earned an 82 Beyer speed figure for trainer Chris Englehart. She was 5 1/4 lengths behind after attending that early pace.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the winner looked impressive, Lucille Ball. The third-place finisher did come back and run 6 Beyer points lower. The 5th horse ran on the turf. The 7th horse came back and ran 13 and 8 points slower. So how good the race will turn out to be is open some question. My one reservation was sometimes these horses run well first time. They're cranked up first time, and they don't run as well the second time out. But she obviously ran pretty well.
That was back early November. See what happens with the 3-year-old debut ahead. Meanwhile, Homewrecker, her debut all the way back July 4th weekend for Rudy Rodriguez.
Rudy Rodriguez looking for his 3rd win today. You see she gets completely slouted at the start. I think that may have been the eventual winner, actually. It came over. And, you know, you can see how badly she was interfered with, but you can really see when we show the pan just how badly this horse was taken out. I mean, completely steadied out after that and drops back suddenly. She's a good 10 to 15 lengths behind. Did a little bit of running in there, and I think with routine improvement and a clean trip, this is a horse that has a chance to really step forward here and be a player.
And again, a lot of changes for start number 2. We'll get Lasix, we'll get blinkers. Obviously, he's had some time since as well as we go downstairs to Maggie.
Lots of quality roads in here, as she's actually the 3rd one I'll talk about, number 4, Homewrecker. And look, she is one that had that trouble at the beginning. first time out, and you're dealing with, a field at that point of very green, first time starting 2-year-olds. So now with some experience, you would hope for a better break. Looking at her though, and while I did think she was, my notes first time out back in July say, that she was well muscled, still had some growing to do. So she was a bit unfurnished, probably a little bit up behind, and she's really grown. She's gotten a lot more scope to her. She's gotten taller too. But with that, she's also become a bit weaker. Like, she still needs to strengthen a bit. So I'm not sold on her. I get it. You can forgive her for that debut. She does apply a pair of shortcut cheater blinkers, but just overall, she didn't wow me like I was hoping to see from her, because I wasn't sure. Did she grow? Did she improve? And she just hasn't gone the way that I'd hoped her to go physically. I do like what I see, though, from the Parks Invader. That's number 7, Woulja Coulja. Slow figure, wasn't flattered by the third-place finisher, coming back and posting only a 53 by her in victory. But it was a fairly spread-out field, so wondering if, maybe it's apples to oranges and she could improve here, as she makes an excellent impression on me. Good size, really strong, really fit. Like I said, had that useful debut where she broke towards the inside. She chased along the rail. She did take a while to switch leads down the lane, but hoping that you can chalk that up to greenness and that she will be more professional here today. Do note that it doesn't record her having blinkers in that first start, but she did, and she wears them again today, Greg.
Thank you, Maggie. Another first-time starter that we should mention here, Taste of Diamonds, the 3. What can you tell us?
Well, you look at the pedigrees in the 1 and 6. The 3 is not the one you might expect to be taking money in this race, but of the firsters, this one's the most live. And Jeremiah Englehart, when his firsts are live, they usually have speed. And I think it's important this horse has taken some money in this race when none of the firsters are. And I think the 3, Taste of Diamonds, not a horse I originally picked, deserves a second look because it does seem to be taking a little bit of nibbles in here.
Kendrick Carmouche, there he is on this debuter for the Jeremiah Englehart barn, off to a pretty hot start from very limited starters at the meet, 2 for 3 here. See if he can keep things going with this first timer. But even money, it's been a short price, as low as 4 to 5 at one point for More Than Grace, the 8. At one point in the wagering, and the money really has not moved much. We'll start number 2. Equate to getting her picture taken. Romero Mirage looking to add another, teaming up with trainer Ray Handel. Set for the 6. Let's go to Chris Griffin for the call.
More Than Grace, last to load to the outside. More Than Grace goes in. All set. And they're off. Homewrecker right out to the front. It's Homewrecker who's got company towards the inside here from Taste of Diamonds, who wants to be in the early mix. Woulja Coulja joins them. It's going to be 3 wide, 4 wide. More Than Grace, a 4-way battle for the front. Taking off that tempo is going to be Moonlit Drive. Is settled into 5th. Is to the outside here of Magnum's Microburst, who now gets passed again towards the outside here from My Daughter's Gift. And the trailer is Delaware Devil. Less than a half mile to go, 22.57 for the opening quarter mile, and Taste of Diamonds is clear, is up by a full length. Woulja Coulja is shoved along here, is in between horses with More Than Grace 3 wide. Moonlit Drive took off that early heat, and here comes Moonlit Drive and Manny Franco, and they're on the move. They're in 4th and traveling nicely. Losing some ground was Homewreckers, back to 5th. From the back, Delaware Devils trying to rally on as well as they reach the top of the stretch. Taste of Diamonds is still well clear, and Taste of Diamonds now sprints for home. Moonlit Drive tries to get rolling down the center of the racetrack. Woulja Coulja battles on, and More Than Grace in between horses. It is Taste of Diamonds trying to hold off the charge of Moonlit Drive down the center of the racetrack, who's now within a length of the leader. It's Taste of Diamonds who's almost there, a 16th left to go, but Moonlit Drive catching with every single stride. Moonlit Drive has now got ahead in front, and Moonlit Drive wins it. Moonlit Drive over Taste of Diamonds, then came a photo, Woulja Coulja with More Than Grace in 1 minute 12.51 seconds.
Moonlit Drive took no money despite the pedigree. Mom, a multiple grade 1 winner. Looks impressive in the debut at 16 to 1.
This horse ran well. Was not on the rail, was moving outside the whole way. I'm not saying the track's heavily biased. I think the rail's a decent place to be. And this horse ran down a well-meant firster in the 3, as we point out with Taste of Diamonds. The money was right with that horse. It's a tough beat if you bet the 3, because this horse ran very well. Just lost to a horse that, you know, half the Full Moon Madness, a dam that went over $1.5 million.
Shocking, took no money with that.
Zero
pedigree.
money at all. And Manny Franco riding, so it's not like it was an apprentice riding. And you know, the lesson with a horse like the 8 is they had the 8 ready to run first time. You know, and that's why I don't mind picking against. Now I picked against the 4 home wrecker, who, if there were any homes involved in a dispute about whether he should bet him or not, he might be wrecking a home with that performance, because he didn't run at all after breaking well. But it was a race that was dominated by firsters.
6, 3, 7, 8. Yeah, 1, 2. Both first-time starters, and yeah, big effort from Taste of Diamonds, but just a little bit better here from Moonlit Drive, from well off the pace at a big number to win the debut.
Wow, big price here. This horse ran well to win too. You know, it's not like she fell in the lead or something. This horse probably fooled Michelle, to be honest, a little bit. Maybe, I don't know if Maggie has a chance to talk to her or not, but I wonder if, you know, one of the reasons big prices, they thought she'd need a race. And, you know, a lot of times I think with firsters too, it's the ones with speed that work impressively. Maybe she wasn't really a great workhorse or something, and it turns out that she doesn't have speed, but she's got some talent. Happy
Still
for
in a
her.
field like this, too, even just, if you have that kind of pedigree at all, to go off this kind of number
You
is
never
just
really
surprising.
know. Pedigrees are funny and purchase prices are funny. Listen, I don't know what to tell you, but, you know, I'd be surprised if they liked this horse. Sometimes, you know, listen, there are horses that work great in the morning that very good trainers are high on that turn out not to be particularly good in the afternoon, and vice versa. But happy for Michelle Nevin and Sam Siegel as well, who bred this horse and, you know, who raced by the moon. And, you know, she's a supporter of our racing in New York, and nice to see them do well together. And I'm always happy to see Michelle win.
Wins the debut. Maybe big things ahead for Moonlit Drive. There's winning trainer Michelle Nevin. Congratulations with this talented first-time starter. Moonlit Drive wins the debut 6-3, 7-8. Here in the 6th, Manny Franco aboard for the win.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us here on America's Day at the Races. We are proudly brought to you by Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. And well done if you did the pedigree play with Moonlit Drive, as she gets the win at 16-1. Maybe a surprise for some of us, but not for her trainer, Michelle Nevin. And obviously highly regarded, I'm sure, in the barn, being out of your first Grade 1 winner in By the Moon.
She sure was. She's been a little gem to have since she came in. Very straightforward. She came highly touted from the farm, from the races, so, you know, it was smooth sailing from the day she came in.
With that pedigree, daughter of Quality Road, obviously the looks should be there, and they are. But you said it's more about what's between her ears that has impressed you the most, and she showed it on the track today.
She's very smart. She's really been like clockwork since she came in. She's very like her mother. You know, she looks like her, got a head just like her. Just easy, the easy to train ones.
I know it's early days, but do you get excited for one like her in the future?
Of course, she looks like her mom. I'm hoping and praying that she's going to be just like her.
Ballerina Mach 2.
That'd be nice. Yes.
Well, Michelle, congratulations. Really, the future does look bright.
Thank you, Maggie.
All right, Moonlit Drive. Can't wait to see what the future does hold, Greg.
Adds so much more excitement when you have one, with a pedigree like this mom, a two-time Grade 1 winner for Zet Ballerina. And they win first time out.
No, I mean, I guess Michelle is a woman of few words. So nobody was talking because nobody was betting this horse, despite the pedigree, Manny Franco, and a nice winner. Congrats to her, and connections as well.
So yet again, 3 races now. No favorites have won, and now a 16-1 shot. And as you said, too, bigger than 13-60 in the Big 5 with Carrie's Dreamweaver, really 9-1 in the Big 5.
And
this is going to be sensational.
And fair to say we're looking at a Big 6 carryover as well today. Tomorrow,
Yes,
I would guess.
I would think locked in potentially at this point. Back to Tampa, race 7.
Ooh, I thought this was a little bit interesting, this
2
race.
minutes away.
It should be noted, let me get it up there.
Emirates Honor, by the way, coming off a second lowest level yet.
The 11 getting in, obviously affects things. It's the 11 and 3. Emirates Honor's getting bet off the board, huh?
Yeah, 2-1 favorite. The 2 taking money, 2 Wolf Beechers, Take Your Medicine.
I mean, Take Your Medicine, like a lot of the ones, just hasn't done any running in the races. Wow, that one is bet, huh?
First time on turf for the 1.
Masteries are not turf horses.
Captain Perfect turf debut, John Terranova.
Love John Terranova. I just don't like this horse.
My Little Cabo will try turf as well.
Damn wanted the turf, but in a very slow race.
28-1. 11-1. This one here, blinkers on and Lasix.
This is my wise guy horse in this race. The dam's on the cheaper side, but there's pedigree on this horse. For this horse to run on the turf, I'm going to bet this horse.
King Plutus, big number, did very little running on the turf in the debut.
I agree. Nothing to see. I can move the horse up.
40-1. Weeks Strong, first-time starter with a 9.
Yeah, the dam did run a 67 buyer and did produce a turf winner in the 60s, so I guess it's possible. And this Buchero as well.
12-1 here with this Maria Bauer stock runner.
There's a smidgen of turf pedigree, to be fair. So,
first time on.
Gunavera is not a sire. You look for it for turf.
Turf, yeah, debuted on synthetic, ran okay, at least for the level. And then the also eligible that gets in, Vino Correggio, Pablo Morales will ride 5-2. This one was on the turf last start at this level, beat less than 2 lengths.
Not a particularly good post, to say the least, but did do enough running where in this field horses like the 2 and 11. But why is this horse 2-1 and the 2 4-1? My guess is that we're going to see some significant late changes in odds here.
Tampa Bay loaded Saturday afternoon with the Pasco. Gasparilla, Wayward Lass, Acacia, Clement will be live on site both Saturday and Sunday, so we look forward to seeing Acacia on the program. As for the Pasco, we have Rookie Card coming off at 5 lengths, score to break his maiden. Belmont at Aqueduct, late October for Danny Gargan, returning for his 3-year-old debut.
Yeah, I don't agree with the morning line maker that has this horse the 3rd choice. I think Rookie Card will be the 2nd choice behind the obvious favorite, Owen Almighty.
Well, here's Owen Almighty. Back-to-back wins to start his career, including a stakes win at Ellis, 2nd Grade 3 Iroquois behind Jonathan's Way in that 3rd start.
Yeah, I mean, this horse was running mid-80 buyers back, 4 months ago in routine improvement for a good trainer. And picking up IRAT, I think that the bettors are probably going to notice that Irad Ortiz is riding there tomorrow, and his average price will be under even money. What do you think?
Yeah, as a result, this horse might have been 4 to 5. Now he's going to be at least 3 to 5 or lower.
Right. This horse will definitely
Thank you, Irad.
add to the Irad. Irad looks like he has some live mounts at Tampa. It's shocking he was able to pick up some good mounts. Nice job by his agent. Who is a very good agent, by the way. The great Steve Rushing.
Yes. As for the 7th race here coming up, 2-1 favoritism now shifted outside. Vino Correggio, who is, for what it's worth, behind Wolf Beach last start. And Wolf Beach wants to be forward the 2. He's 7-2.
I wonder what the odds will look like after they break the gate, but I can't believe that the 11 will be a 1.5 shorter than the 2. It doesn't seem possible to me.
Yeah, and Emirates Honor still taking money from the rail. 2 sprints, now the stretch out, and the turf debut ahead from the rail.
I bet the 7. I bet the 7 in this race. El de Toco, and use with the other first-timers in the turf, the 1 and the 9. I don't want the ones to try. Small bet, but a little bet on the win bet on the 7.
Mile and a 16th here on the turf. $16,000 maiden claiming race. Let's go to Jason Beam.
And Vino Correggio. Pablo Morales, the pickup mount here. Couple of them acting up there, including gates 3 and 5. Riders out of the saddle on both those runners. Looks like the jock Anthony Rodriguez on the number 3, Take Your Medicine, has hopped off and behind the gate. Horse is just standing there in the stall. Not sure if Anthony was injured or does look like they're backing out the number 3. So stand by. Looks like the rider mounting back up. Vino Correggio's got in, so we're just waiting on Take Your Medicine and Anthony Rodriguez to gate 3. And we'll be all set for a start here. Late pick 3. Take Your Medicine coming up. Starter Eddie Boobles to send them on their way. Mile and a 16th here. They're in the gate. Oh, no, not quite. Take Your Medicine just about in. Now he's in. They're in the gate. And the race is on. King Plutus toward the outside was out quickly. Wolf Beach down toward the inside is forwardly placed. Between them, My Little Kaibo, Captain Perfect, also part of that front vanguard as well. As they come into the stretch for the first time. It's King Plutus, Wolf Beach. They're 1-2 into the lane. Wolf Beach just in front. King Plutus in second. Length and a half more back to Emirates Honor, cuts the corner up to third. Captain Perfect's fourth, about 2.5 off the top 2. Working over My Little Kaibo is fifth. Then comes Take Your Medicine, sixth in the all-blue colors to the inside. El de Tocho in tight quarters there. The number 7, El de Tocho, having to check off heels and behind. Then comes Weak Strong. My Wife Has a Gun with 1 beat. And Vino Correggio, one of the favorites, is the early trailer, 10th and last, as they have 5.5 furlongs to go. 23 and 2/5 seconds for the opening quarter mile. Wolf Beach and Jesus Castanon, the pacemakers in front now by a neck. On the outside, King Plutus applying pressure. Meanwhile, Emirates Honor content to sit right there in a tracking spot third, just 2 off the top 2. It's 3 more now. Back to Captain Perfect, who's pushed along but losing ground, is being joined and passed by El de Tocho between horses. Also up there on the far outside, Take Your Medicine, as Captain Perfect plummeted right back through the field there, is all the way back to last now. Let's go back to the top. 40-1 was the opening half mile. Wolf Beach to the far turn, a neck in front. King Plutus continues to apply long shot pressure in that second spot. Then comes Emirates Honor, who's had a garden trip thus far, but is being joined on the outside and passed by Take Your Medicine, who's up to third. In behind that, El de Tocho, My Little Kaibo. Around to the top of the stretch, Wolf Beach and King Plutus. They've been 1-2 throughout. These two into the lane. They're 2.5 lengths clear of Take Your Medicine. Emirates Honor up the inside, trying to get a rally on El de Tocho down the far outside. My Little Kaibo's putting in a rally. Vino Correggio, looking between horses, is about 5th right now, but still in some traffic. Wolf Beach is the leader. Wolf Beach by the 16th pole. King Plutus going to try to hold second down the outside. El de Tocho, Take Your Medicine late. Wolf Beach, the winner. Wolf Beach got it. King Plutus held on to that second spot. Then came Take Your Medicine, El de Tocho, and Emirates Honor.
Wolf Beach, maiden breaking win here, career start number 7 for Jose Delgado.
And no surprise, ended up being the same price as the number 11, to be honest with you. And actually was second choice, though. The 11 was favored. The rider found the right move. Just be aggressive and control in the front end, and it turned out to be a 2-speed number. I thought my 7 actually ran pretty well. It's hard to get a particularly good rider down at Tampa in a lot of cases. In this case, that was the situation here, but wasn't going to beat the 2, I don't think.
Prices from that 7th at Tampa when we come back. We'll get to the 7th at Aqueduct when we return. $15,000 claiming race, 1-turn mile. Will third time be the charm of the distance for Scaramanga? Find out when we come back. Part of the favorite 5-2 entry right now.
They come on for the finish in the Pilgrim Stakes. Annapolis by a head.
It is Annapolis in front. It is Annapolis to win the Coolmore Turf Mile.
Horse racing? Check. Weekly promotions? Got 'em. Huge payouts? You bet. With Naira Bets. Download the app today and bet on any track, anywhere, anytime with live HD horse races, betting tips and tutorials, expert picks, and more. You bet with Naira Bets. Join now for a new member bonus at nairabets.com.
The only colt ever to win 3 one-mile Grade 1s on dirt. Ran the fastest buyer of the year. That's him, 6 wide, streaking clear.
Here comes Cody's
2 more Grade 1s at 7/8. Here's his forego, also running a 112 bite. That's 5 Grade 1s all told. No other son of Sires Curlin has so many. They say, be careful what you wish for. We agree.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. RTN has packages that start at $5 per month.
Back with you on our Friday coverage of America's Day of the Races here on Fox Sports 2, and it's Wolf Beach. Graduating in the $16,000 maiden claiming event at 1 mile and a 16th. Tried to do it on the front end last time out, weak in late stages. This time continues strong to the wire.
Last time had post 10. Today had post 2. Makes it a lot easier to control like that. And as it turned out, it was a 2-speed number with the 8, who I believe was a bit of a long shot, sitting second, and I think hanging on for second. The number 11, Vino Coraggio, I don't believe that horse ever was never in the hunt.
One more look, and yeah, there was just no slowing down for Wolf Beach. Brave here in front in the stretch, and yeah, King Plutus, huge number, giving chase, but no catching this one.
Old 2-speed number gets it done. There, look at that.
And pay $7.20. Super 73 to 1, 14 to 1.
The 3 who didn't want to go in the gate, right?
50-cent trifecta, almost $1,000.
Click it out for today if I had it. Wasn't meant to be.
All right, let's return to Aqueduct. $15,000 claiming race in this 1-turn mile ahead. We showed you going to break. Part of the entry, 5-2 on Scaramanga and Bad Larry. There's Scaramanga.
I don't think they're betting Bad Larry, but they are betting Scaramanga, and I ended up picking Scaramanga because I thought he was the controlling speed in a race that I just thought a lot of horses looked pretty similar in this race.
Well, you got, and here's Riders Up. He's got this, Fernando Abreu, continuing the 6 to drop down the class ladder. First glimpse, sort of the same thing, although it's been at this level before. The last time at a level like this was a winner That horse has gone from barn to barn to barn, been popular in the claim box. Then Flat Out Flying, the 7 and 8, both of the same barn of Rob Atras. Some big numbers, too. 7-2 on the 8 Flat Out Flying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Flat Out Flying is dropping in company and finished behind a good horse in Running Ray last time, but was he somewhat second by default. And he doesn't have a lot of speed in an outside post, and I wonder if that could compromise his chances, but obviously it's not impossible.
So here is Scaramanga, 7-2. Well, the price can floating up quite a bit here.
Thought he ran against better horses last time and didn't run that badly. And maybe if Louis Rivera's aggressive, he can wire the field.
Other half of that entry, you get Bad Larry as well.
Yeah, his form has declined precipitously, but he does drop down a lot.
The rail is going to go to the 2, and Mystic Knight does have some big races to go back to.
But I can't bet him based on his form in his last 4 races. His form has just left him, in my opinion.
Debate, Kendrick Carmouche, Michelle Giangulio.
Kind of needs the race to fall apart because he has no speed, but he has the talent on some go-back races, and he too drops down.
Cheeky Tico would be a surprise.
Yes. That would guarantee 4 of 6 probably gets paid. Maybe even a pick 5 carryover.
He's got this fairly big number.
Dropping down, I think this horse is a very fair price at 5-1, and he too has races not long ago that gave him a chance.
First glimpse, one of the 2 here next door to each other for Rob Atras.
Not impossible, but of all the horses that have sort of run okay in here, isn't he a little slower than some of the others?
I thought both from this barn were interesting. This one a little more so.
Yeah, but I just worry about his lack of speed and it's not getting out of the gate. But obviously he's got some races that are fast enough to win. There aren't a lot of horses that are complete non-contenders here.
Yeah, this is a 19-time winner of this 8, Flat Out Flying. And you mentioned, Running Ray, who the 7 faced as well before. He'd be probably an odds-on favorite in here.
He'd be tough, but he also beat him by 8 lengths.
Yes, indeed.
And he was kind of picking up pieces, but he blew the break. But can he get out of the gate today?
3 minutes away from this 7th. You can play it by getting signed up right there at NyraBets.com. Use that code for new members at sign-up bonus 200. Get that $200 deposit match sign-up bonus. Let's go downstairs to Maggie for more here on the 7th.
Yeah, in these types of situations, I'm just going to land on the horse that looked best, Greg. And I have no problems with Scaramanga. I think a very formidable type in here. But I'll take the drop down with number 4, Debate for Michelle Giangulio. Now, don't get me wrong. I consistently think he looks fantastic, but sometimes it's all about who you're facing. Really animated stride out in the track, resplendent coat to him, just exudes a lot of confidence. Now, we haven't really seen that displayed in his last 2 efforts, to be fair, where he got out of the gate a bit slow at Parks last time down on the rail and never picked up his feet, though I'm just going to hope that this meeting some lesser faces helps him today. But as Andy said, the lack of speed concerns me, but I couldn't resist given the way he looks. Moving on to one of the 2 for trainer Rob Atras, and it's more just a point I want to make with number 8, Flat Out Flying. This is a horse that, and he's not that big of a horse, but he does not like the gate much. I wonder if he's a horse that doesn't like people touching his mouth or around his head, because he consistently kind of throws his head, gets out of there awkwardly. And again, he's sharp, he's keen heading into this effort, which is something that I'd seen from him continuously, at least in his Naira effort so far. He looks great again, but he does himself no favors. But I do think that the 2 that Rob sends out, the argument could be made that they were facing some better company last time out for that 20, Greg.
Yeah, a couple that are dropping down in class here. You look at this board, it is hard not to recognize what's going on with Mystic Knight. Getting all this money, 15-1 morning line, 5-2 right now. Obviously has, it was a way back. It was, 5 starts ago, he ran a race against 25,000, much better. That would destroy this field.
Right, but he was in Linda Rice's barn,
nowhere.
and his form just immediately fell apart. This was once a Chad Brown runner that looked like he had stakes potential, and then he went to the barn last time for Gustavo Rodriguez, who's, won at 13% last year, so he won some races, but did absolutely no running at all, and then suddenly today he's being bet off the board. Either he's the most ridiculous 3-1 favorite you'll see, or he's the they knew of the century. How is he favored off his recent form?
It is,
what is going on here?
It is hard to wrap your head around it.
And the other 3-1 shot, now 7-2 Debate, who I do believe has a chance, but he's a deep, deep closer, and you better hope this race really comes apart for him to get the job done.
I looked at this card long and hard. I thought Mystic Knight was definitely mildly interesting and one maybe to use as a long shot threat.
Right.
Never expected to see 3-1. Incredible. Meanwhile, Scaramanga, again, you like. See, he's got some questions to answer at the distance. But the last couple of starts, he's put up back-to-back very good efforts.
And I just feel like he may be the controlling speed, and I don't see a ton of speed in this race. Do you?
No. Not at all. Yeah, expect Rivera to be aggressive. And then, he's got this for Fernando Abreu.
He should be somewhat forwardly placed, and maybe Mystic Knight can be forwardly placed with Manny, and maybe part of their plan is to be aggressive and send him, though I don't know that would make him a short price.
And I guess because the 2's taking all this money, I feel like that's inflated quite a bit on the 6. Did you feel the same, the price?
I think the 6 is the forgotten horse.
Yeah.
The 6th is probably the contender he's the biggest price in the 5, who's impossible to make on paper, and he's the biggest price. But the truth is that 3-1 to 6-1, it's not like anybody is. But the Mystic Knight drifted to 7-2 and came back to 3-1. That is really puzzling to me.
Again,
they knew, in my opinion.
15-1 morning line on Mystic Knight, 3-1 favorite. He's been favored throughout.
And that's not to say he has no chance to win, because obviously he has a chance to win the race. It's just based on his PPs, it's very hard to understand how he's a short price. And our morning line maker is pretty efficient, and he had him a much bigger price, and while it was a scratch, it wouldn't change it that much.
See what Mystic Knight can do. Will he run to those odds? He breaks from the rail under Manny Franco. Here's race 7. Let's go to Chris Griffin for the call.
And Bad Larry to the outside. Goes in, all set. And they're off. In between horses, he's got this. Breaks with early speed, and Scaramanga's going to be in the early mix too. Bad Larry up on the far outside is now hard sent, and Bad Larry was intent on getting to the front and is clear, is up by 2 as they get set to come out of the chute. Joining to the outside is First Glimpse, and just having to steady briefly as he's got this, who's right there in behind. A battling duo as they hook up with the backstretch is sitting there in 3rd. Scaramanga is going to ride the rail here in 4th. Out wider there, and now pursuing these rivals comes Flat Out Flying, who's a challenging 5th. At the rail there is Mystic Knight, and in between horses comes Cheeky Tico. 24 seconds flat for the opening quarter mile. The trailer, 9 lengths off the lead. That's Debate. They're chasing Bad Larry, and Bad Larry is still well clear, is up by 2. Lineup of 3 right in behind as at the rail there Scaramanga is trying to move on through. Out wider there is First Glimpse is still holding that second position. In between horses he's got this. Here's a run from Flat Out Flying, and Flat Out Flying starts to roll. 47-3, that half-mile time. Also on the move is Mystic Knight, Red Cap. Following that move is Cheeky Tico. Still the lone trailer is Debate. Bad Larry is in front. It's Bad Larry ready to kick for home. Bad Larry is only up by a neck, though. He's got this in full pursuit. Is taking a clear second. Here's the run from Flat Out Flying down the center of the racetrack. These 3 as they approach the top of the stretch, and now kicking on, it's He's Got This who's in front, ready to pounce, and lugging in there is Flat Out Flying with the momentum, and Flat Out Flying is taking the lead. It's Flat Out Flying who's now opening up here in the late stages and doing it very nicely. Flat Out Flying. Christopher Elliott, they're going to win this one impressively. Bad Larry is battling back. Will get second over He's Got This and Mystic Knight in 1 minute 37.69 seconds.
Flat Out Flying winds up going off your 3-1 favorite. Christopher Elliott, one of the 2 for Rob Atras.
Well, he broke today. He was in reasonably good position, though wide. And the 1A battled back and somehow got second in this race. A lot of no-shows in this race. The 1, the stronger after the entry, backed up and was terrible. But this horse showed up with his his A game today, or at least his K game he has these days, and got it done, lugging in a little bit, but gets it done.
Was potentially that Mystic Knight money one better?
No, because the horse drifted up and then came back in. I don't know if money followed money. I don't know what it was. We'll never know because he ran his usual bad race.
In the end, it's the favorite who wins here, 9-year-old by Flat Out, who, how about this? 20th career win. Pretty great milestone.
That is pretty amazing.
In a career that spanned 61 starts.
Yeah,
Horse has been around for a while.
And seems to be as good now as he ever was, or running, competitive races. His career best Beyer is 89. He probably ran the high 70s, so he's running pretty well. And for random reasons, he won't be able to run here next year.
And 10-year-olds not allowed to run on the circuit.
Speaking of
Runs a big one here. 20th career win for Flat Out Flying. Back with you on our Fox Sports 2 Friday coverage. Flat Out Flying. Rob Atras, this 9-year-old, has plenty of run left in those legs.
Yeah, no, the good one showed up today. Made an outside move, and just clearly best.
20th.
I haven't looked at the multis yet.
Career victory here. And Christopher Elliott aboard for the win. And it's mentioned it was a very distant second to Run and Ray. Run and Ray would have been odds on probably in here.
Yes, he would. He probably would have won too.
Yes,
there is a carryover the pick 6. Let's see if everyone's covered the pick 5.
$8.70 for the win.
Is not covered. The 9 is not covered. Is the 6 right? The 6 is not covered. The 6 and 9 would be a pick 5 carryover.
There it is. First favorite to win. It was in a very competitive race, too, and he wasn't the favorite till the very last moment. Flat Out Flying, 3-1 favorite. It's been upset city, and especially the second and third legs here. We'll see what happens in race 8, which is, Al's Ruby's going to get a lot of attention, but I felt a couple of runners who could spring an upset.
I like the 4, but I don't disagree. Al's Ruby's pretty good, but this is a tougher race than she's ever been in.
True Empress, My Magic Wand, a couple other intriguing runners. As we take you back to Tampa. Race 8. And this race, 6.5 furlongs here. $10,000 maiden claiming group, all for sale for that price, trying to get that first win of their career coming up. And here is the 1, Unified Princess.
It goes both row might beat bees. Unified Princess looks like a tough one to take, even in this maiden claiming race.
5-1 next door. Blinkers coming up, Ms. Diz.
The second start for Greg Sacco and does cut back in distance. And Greg Sacco has good numbers turning back. I think this one's dangerous.
Pizzicato. 9 starts, has done very little running.
Well, you go back to races at Gulfstream, 4 and 5 back. He might be the favorite, but her recent effort, she's a long shot.
Those were in the mud, too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not endorsing her. I'm just saying there was a time when this horse could have been one of the favorites.
Fancy's Rosebud. Adamar Santos rides?
There's never been a time that this would have been one of the favorites.
No, has a little bit of pace, not much else. The 5, Barbaresco Baby.
I agree, both the 4 and 5 could have speed, but they're not good enough on paper, even in this spot.
Little Carly, it's 17-1.
Another one with just has done no running. At least she made a little bit of a move last time up the rail.
Yeah, it did. And then backed out of it big time, and that was at 5.5. Luna Amaria at 7-1 here. This is career start number 28.
Well, her last race a disaster at Mountaineer, but you go before that, and your 48 Buyer Colonial makes her live. It's a player.
At least there's the upside potential.
There is.
With the 2, start number 2?
The 11?
With the 11?
Yeah, but did run a maiden 5 claimer at Finger Lakes first out.
On a wet track. First time on a dry track, though. The 12, Dreaming of Carly, 5-1.
Just had so many chances, but once again, she has run well enough to win.
And all the money to the also eligible who draws in. Don't tell Amy.
This horse is 3-2 in here?
What's that?
This horse is 3-2 in this race.
Off
you're taking 6-5 now. If you're taking 6-5 in this race, you might want to take a look. I'm going to bet the 2 here, Miss Diz, because I can't resist a cutback, Greg.
That is a short number on an 0-for-9 runner with a 34 Buyer last start, but people see the runner up at the level and they like it. More stakes action Saturday from Tampa. We'll have it 7 furlongs. Gasparilla, 3-year-old fillies. And on the outside, 3-year-old filly, who 2 back. Stakes winner in that Florida Stallion Series, Susan's Girl Division. Dominant back in mid-October.
But aren't you worried that her form is badly tailed off from a Buyer speed figure standpoint? She's been getting slower lately, and maybe she doesn't want to go that far last time. I don't think she'll be favored in here. I imagine Irad will be favored on the slower Mrs. Worldwide, or even, I don't know who else. I think there's other things. How about the 2, Dancing Magic? I don't know. I wasn't thrilled with this horse.
It is a little troubling, yeah.
Last race is more than a little troubling to me.
Was a mile and a 16th, but even the 7/8 race before that, too, was going backwards.
I agree.
As for Dancing Magic, Junior Alvarado will ride, beat by Mrs. Worldwide last time out.
Yeah, I mean, this horse did not run well at all last time, which is a concern. Her prior races were very good at Keeneland, and if she can run those races, she'd be a major player here. But what went wrong last time? I don't follow it enough to know. Could Lynn's Milky Way, who needs to get faster, wire the field to 3? Is she like a bit of a wild card in here?
She is, well,
betting doubles at Tampa, taking advantage of that 20% bonus.
Yeah, it could get 4 has a little bit of speed next door too, right?
The pace projector has her faster, but that's one race. You have to be careful with one race. You don't know if that same kind of speed is going to show up. Speed was okay that day at Gulfstream when Lynn's Milky Way ran, but it wasn't a big bias. I don't think this horse was carried by the racetrack.
Looking forward to the stakes action Saturday from Tampa, and not to mention Wayward Lass as well. Got a Grade 1 winner who will return to action on the card, and that's not even a stakes race. Nutella we will see.
4 to 5 morning line. I'm looking to book all your action on Telefella tomorrow, so you know where to find me.
3rd in the Grade 1 Woody Stevens.
Runs by appointment only.
Yeah, 3-year-old debut. That was back in June. Saratoga, I haven't seen him since. But that was good to see him come back and run a big race for Gary Contessa. Now a long time away again as we get back to today's action. Don't tell Amy. So still, I believe still the favorite. 6-5 currently. And off a second place finish at this level, but with a 34, very modest 34 Buyer. Still taking a ton of attention.
I have no idea when this horse is a heavy. I don't know how any horse could be a heavy favorite in this race. I'm saying she can't win. She can win. How can anybody be a heavy favorite in this field? Is that possible? For instance, why is this horse a bigger price than the horse I like, the 2? It's cutting back. Second time for Greg Sacco. I'm in. Missed is for me.
Missed is the 2 for Andy, so 5-1. Yeah, especially in these bottom level maiden claiming races. Someone who's 0 for 9, beware taking a short price.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is you can't. Now, listen, the odds change pretty dramatically often in the last flash at Tampa, so not sure you're still going to see these kind of prices here as my 2 now goes down to the 4-1 second choice. But just the idea of taking 6-5 on anybody in this field, looking at the PPs, I guess she could win, but tough race to take that short a price.
And
I mean, where else can you go? Where am I here?
There's some hungry runners in here that several seem like you can kind of cancel out.
Yeah, you can time. You're going to be able to time this race with the sundial. The race is going to be just slightly slower than the load. Can we talk about the 8th race here while we're talking about a race that? Can we move to Aqueduct? We are going to cover that race, right?
Yeah, real quick too. Let's just tell you first of all, if you're alive in the Pick 5 at Aqueduct, as Andy said, there's
9 and 6. Did we say weren't covered?
9 and 6 are not covered. The shortest payout, that's to the 11.
11's favored. Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's 3's favored.
Sorry, Al's Ruby, 5,900. Then to My Magic Wand, 9,900 plus. 7's a major player, 36,700.
I'm sorry, I'm losing track. Yeah, I have the 7 pick 3rd. I think the 7's a huge player in this race. I agree. Absolutely can win. Keep in mind, once again, you're probably getting, 30 to 40% higher win price on the 3rd leg where the scratch came in, because obviously that money in the pick 5 did not get altered. So there was one very tough horse to have. First-time starter, the kind of horse you could have played in a spread play because of the pedigree. You just had to get there. I would not have gotten there. I would not have used the 3 the race before it. I would have used the 6. I wouldn't have used the 3.
That's the one that bounced me.
Yeah, no, I think it probably bounced a lot of people. Horse may not have been 16-1 in the pick 5. I don't know. Maybe the way the thing fell, she was, but
See what happens here in this 8th at Tampa. Then we'll go back to the nightcap from Aqueduct. Jason Beam with the call.
Don't Tell Amy going up and in. They're in the gate. And the race is on. Good start for the Gray Fancies Rosebud, who sprints right to the front. Barbaresco Baby flashing some speed, and those 2 very quick onto the main course. Barbaresco Baby's going to grab the lead way on the outside. Front by a length and a half now. To Fancy's Rosebud in that 2nd position. Pizzicato's up the inside of Little Carly. They're together 3rd and 4th, about 3 off the top. Then comes Dreaming of Carly, who's running 5th, about 4.5, 5 off the lead. Don't Tell Amy the favorite is 6th right now, but it's starting to advance forward. Then comes Starship Reliant and Luna Maria. It's about 6 more then. Back to the 2 at the back, Unified's Princess and Miss Diz. 22 and 3 for Barbaresco Baby, who takes him to the far turn. The lead is the length. On the outside, Fancy's Rosebud. A length and a half more back to Little Carly in the orange. Pizzicato in the yellow toward the inside. Those 2 starting to close in on the top runners. Don't Tell Amy's made steady progress, is 5th and about 4.5 off the leader up top. Fancy's Rosebud still under a good hold as they come to the top of the stretch. Barbaresco Baby pushed along to keep up with her. Fancy's Rosebud just in front to the top of the lane. In behind that, Little Carly. Don't Tell Amy continues to wind up on the outside. Then comes Pizzicato. A final furlong left to go. Barbaresco Baby battling back to the inside, but company now. Here's Don't Tell Amy charging down the far outside. A 16th left to go. Don't Tell Amy, Barbaresco Baby, Valiant, but now back to 2nd. Then comes Pizzicato. It's Don't Tell Amy. Don't Tell Amy, the 2-1 favorite, going to win it here by 3/4 of a length in the end. Barbaresco Baby was after that. Then came Pizzicato, and a consequential photo there between Little Carly and Luna Maria for 4th and 5th.
Don't Tell Amy comes rolling down the lane, and the 5-year-old mare breaks her maiden here at career start number 10, finds the right field.
Right, and she went off at a more reasonable 2-1. As the 2 didn't run a step, came down to a less reasonable 3-1 if you liked her, but that's not, I wouldn't have bet her, but that's a little bit of a better price. price.
Nightcap Aqueduct, and this is the one to beat. Al's Ruby, 2 starts, 2 wins, about 7 months apart.
Yeah, and listen, she's run well. In her first race, the rail was good. She was off the rail. She lost the lead to a horse that moved inside, came back on. She was impressive. Embraceable Gal, who she beat last time and had trouble, came back and ran a respectable race here the other day when a bit unlucky to lose. She's very logical, but she's running against much tougher horses than she's been running against, and I think she's going to have to improve to win this race, and I don't need her at that price to improve, but she's good.
Yeah, officially 8 months apart between those 2 wins. Now she's trying to keep that record perfect intact here for start number 3. What are you seeing with Al's Ruby, Maggie?
She's a very lovely horse. She's nicely put together. She has a lot of size to her. There's obviously a good bit of talent in there, but as Andy pointed out, this race much tougher than what she has seen in the past. And I love these second level New York bred allowances because you do have those horses seeking those third wins in these conditions that have just rattled them off and are somewhat, relatively speaking, lightly raced. And then you have horses that are 10, 12-time winners like she's facing here. And it's really fun to see how they stack up against each other. But here in the paddock, at least physically, Al's Ruby, despite not having that many races under her belt, does look like a tried and true veteran. And 2, now she gets to pair races back to back, something she wasn't able to do between her first and second starts, but all things good for a horse who is likely to take a lot of money here for Christophe Clement. Moving on to number 4, Miss Lau. I might be second in line to Andy as a Dennis Laumann fan because Dennis does a great job because he also doesn't have that many horses. He tends to focus on claiming a horse that he thinks he can do very well with, and he usually pinpoints the right horses. And with Miss Lau, she's one that struggled to carry weight, struggled to have that conditioning and maintain it. And it looks as though Dennis has packed it on. I haven't seen her actually since he's claimed her, but she's been in decent form for him. Wired last time by Spiteful Lily. She did stay on her inside lead last time out, which I didn't love to see. And I wish she had a little bit more energy here in the paddock, but physically speaking, she does look pretty good for her. So I do want to watch her and how she warms up. She, like I said, was showing a bit more energy here. Moving on to the outside with number 11, My Magic Wand. She kind of falls under the same category as Al's Ruby. Can she rattle through these conditions? Well, with her, I know she took a lot of money in the face of open maiden special weights 2 back and breaking her maiden, and she was a lot more fit, a lot more defined than what I saw from her first time out. So she took an enormous step forward, as her form would suggest, from first to second start. Took a couple steps back though, despite winning last time out, and she was determined. I'll give her that. She was very, very game in getting the victory, but just one that I've noticed each time she comes over, there's a progression. I love what I'm seeing from her here today with Greg Sacco. There were quick fractions, so rightfully so, kind of slowing down the lane last time, Greg. But I'm excited to see what these lesser experienced horses can do against some tried and true veterans.
All right, Maggie, thank you. Approaching the 5-minute mark to post parade coming up for this nightcap competitive group to close things out on this Friday afternoon when we return on our Fox Sports 2 coverage.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you.
Down, get in, 350. Here we go. 3 here, 50, down 4, 8.5, in the back. 1,400,000 stands way in the back. Thank you.
$1,500,000 and $1,600,000, $150,000, $1,550,000 and a half. $1,500,000. Jody, thank you.
Please hold your applause.
Charlatan, ultra impressive.
It's a new day for a new king.
Olympiad leads American Revolution. Olympiad gets the gold in the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
The brilliance of the legendary Arrowgate and the speed and stamina of the sire of sires, Uncle Mo. Introducing Petulante, the first son of Arrowgate to stand in New York after winning handily at first asking.
Petulante! He's got a kick here, and he's going to prove much the best.
He won or placed in all 7 of his lifetime starts, including the Grade 3 Salvatore Mile.
Petulante, Nimbus class, Petulante!
Petulante, now standing in New York. For information, visit IHDVStallions.com today.
Back with you on our Fox Sports 2 coverage. Here comes our post parade for the nightcap, and Aqueduct Mozienko kicks things off.
The 1.5, the engine is going to still run, and the source has gotten very good for Dennis Laumann, but the form seems to be ebbing a bit.
1A gets the far outside post, by the way. This one gets the rail, the 2 latest edition.
Yeah, and ran a good figure on the turf last time and has run some races on the turf. They're fast enough, but more of a dirt horse.
Here's the filly who's undefeated, the 3, Yals Ruby.
She's fine. I don't think she's worth 2-1, and it's a very competitive race. But she has run well in her races, and can she take another step forward?
Miss Lau will get back to who I know you like. 6-1. Sue Ellen Michigan, speed.
She's supposed to be speed. We'll see if she's fast enough or good enough.
Queen's Masterpiece, long shot, wants to be forward as well.
Blow up the pick 5.
True Empress trying to win 3 in a row.
Big time player in this race. Has run well in New York before and is a major contender.
Maggie's Palace has Jose Lizcano.
Another contender. Finished out of Miss Lau last time, though, with a slightly better trip.
Foxy Cara been beaten by a lot of these of late.
She would need a total meltdown and none of the other closers to show.
Back-to-back wins My Magic Wand, Gregory Sacco.
Yeah, I don't like this horse. I think that she's dressed up by circumstance, a gold rail 2 back, and beating Geopolitics last time. It's a fair price if you like her, 9-2. I just prefer others.
All right, so back to Miss Lau, 6-1 with a 4 here. What'd you like?
Well, I thought December 12th is the day you wanted to be moving outside. And while the winner was a speed close to the rail, she's a horse that had run well in the past. And Miss Lau, I think her rally stalled by coming through on the inside that day. And I'm not blaming Romero. It's just a hard day and hard to know those things. And so I think she was hampered by the racetrack, and she ran figures 75 and 77 by her first 2 times, Dennis Laumann, that really make her one of the horses to beat. So I can give her a bit of an excuse for her last race, and I think she's fast enough on her good race.
And you're getting a number 2, obviously, next door. You win first time out. You're from the Christophe Clement barn. You're going to take attention. Gone for 8 months. Comes back in equally impressive in start number 2.
Right. It's a good sign that she's able to put back-to-back races again. It's good for the connections, but it's good for her. And I'm not knocking her. She's run well in her starts. I don't understand how she's 2-1 in a race, 9-5 in a race like this, because from a speed figure standpoint, it's not only does she not have an edge, she's got to get faster to win. And I'm not going to be shocked. She's lightly raced. She has every reason to improve. She comes from a good barn. But from a betting standpoint, in my opinion, she's an underlay at 9-5.
But one of the best barns in the game, lightly raced with that time off too, essentially sort of just kind of starting over again, and now can move forward off this.
No, I agree. She absolutely can move forward. She absolutely can win here, but I don't think she's done it. I don't think her PP suggests. Why is she 9-5 and 11 4-1? That's my question a little bit for you.
My Magic Wand, first time out, learning experience. It was a decent field, even though Geopolitics took forever to break her maiden. Didn't have big number next time out. Was that too big of a number? Because she came back to earth in a win next out, although on a wet track.
Well, she rode a gold rail on September 27th, so to me, it's no surprise that she ran lower. But did she run worse in the sloppy track, running against Geopolitics? Draws well, she's speed, and she may be the main speed, the speed of the speed with the 10 scratching. We'll see how aggressive other riders are, and if she clears, she becomes more dangerous. If she doesn't, she probably has a problem.
Let's go back to Maggie.
Yeah, we'll look at a horse who is probably going to give My Magic Wand some fits, possibly on the front end, and that is second off the layoff in here, number 5, Sue Ellen Michigan, who is nearly 50% in her career, 10 for 22 lifetime. That's, a record not to be scoffed at. I thought she looked ready, though, last time out while running second, and she came up a bit short whilst not switching to her outside lead. Could she have just needed to shake off the ring rust? I don't know, but I thought she was ready to do so last time out in My Bronx Baby, while more forwardly placed than her. she was able to edge her out in the end. As we'll take a look at number 8, Maggie's Palace, who I'm hoping does capitalize on some hitting up front. She looks sensational. Last time out, yes, it was a gate-to-wire winner. She broke a little bit better than what she has at times, and then she kind of went outside, circled the field, made a relentless run behind the gate-to-wire winner. Does get a rider change here. Dylan Davis seemed to know her quite well. Hoping that Jose Loscano can be well adjusted. She'll be my selection here. Greg?
There's Miss Lau. Caught Andy's eye 7-1 on this Dennis Lallman runner. You had a nice return with one from his barn just a few weeks ago.
This one.
Oh, was this
First
one?
time for Dennis, yeah. Beating one of your favorite horses in Geopolitics was like 1 to 20 in that race or something and lost. Imagine taking that price in Geopolitics.
Loves to run second. And then here's the remaining half of the entry. Again, far outside post for this now 20-1 shot. What will happen in this late pick 5? Good luck if you're alive. Big returns to everybody. Let's go to Chris Griffin for the call.
And they're off. Sue Ellen, Michigan, right out to the front, is quickly clear by a length and a half. It's Sue Ellen, Michigan, gets over to the rail. And here's latest edition, ready to challenge towards the inside. My Magic Wand is going to be wide. It's going to 3 wide in that group. And in behind them comes Al's Ruby, well settled in 4th. Then comes Miss Lau, is trying to progress, is towards the inside here of Foxy Kara's got some momentum. Foxy Kara at the back end of the field. That's Mosey Yanko, going to be now taking that 5th position, less than 4 furlongs to travel. In that second grouping comes Maggie's Palace, trying to run on, is right there with True Empress. Then comes Foxy Kara and the trailer, Queen's Masterpiece. 22-4 for the opening quarter mile. And here to the outside, My Magic Wand is ready to challenge, puts a neck in front. My Magic Wand to the outside, and to the inside, Sue Ellen, Michigan. They're a clear 1-2. All in is Al's Ruby. Same can be said here from Mosey Yanko, but the leader is My Magic Wand, who kicks on. My Magic Wand is now up by a length and a half. Here's Al's Ruby, who's in full pursuit, is ready to challenge Sue Ellen, Michigan, as they are inside a final furlong. My Magic Wand trying to put this one away. It's My Magic Wand inside the final 16th, still up by 2. Coming back here is Sue Ellen, Michigan, but My Magic Wand has done enough. Picks up another one for Manny Franco. That's 3 on the day. My Magic Wand, Sue Ellen, Michigan, then Al's Ruby, and Maggie's Palace. In 1 minute 10.77 seconds.
3 in a row for this 4-year-old filly by Gun Runner for Gregory Sacco. Manny Franco aboard. And in the end, goes off at 3-1.
Pace ended up moderate when the 5 ran off the front and able to stalk and pounce and prove best. Al's Ruby just not quite good enough trying to get the position as the speeds ran 1-2 or 2-1 around the racetrack. And I didn't like this horse, but I was dead wrong about this race. Maybe Miss Lau deserves another chance. Different rider, maybe.
11-5-3-8. My Magic Wand on a roll right now after a difficult debut.
It's 2 wins today for Greg Sacco, too.
Yeah, Manny Franco having a pretty good day as well.
He's a pretty good rider.
And look, for Al's Ruby, certainly was a contender. And look, this horse coming out of a state-bred other than as well. But to make someone 7-5, it's a big jump up to this level, isn't it?
It's an insanely short price. And listen, I didn't like My Magic Wand, so but I said in the post-parade the difference in price. If you liked her, you could bet her, but I wouldn't have bet her, so it doesn't matter. But I don't know how Al's Ruby is 7-5 in this field. I just don't know how that makes any sense. Wouldn't have helped me anyway.
So My Magic Wand continues her role. And as we said, pick 6 carryover. Heading into Saturday, making things a little more intriguing. 3-win afternoon, Manny Franco. Strong Friday afternoon for him. These prices when we come back. 3 in a row for this daughter of Gun Runner. Prices when we return. Stay with us. Back with you on our Friday coverage. It is My Magic Wand. 3 victories in a row, all coming on this racetrack. And Wins Here returns $8.40 for the win, and that results in a pick 6 carryover into the Saturday card.
Yeah, the carryover is just under $22,200. And congratulations if you had the pick 5.
3-win day, Manny Franco. Let's go downstairs to Maggie.
And a 2-win day for the Sacco barn, as I'm pleased to be joined by Will Sacco, assistant and son to Greg. But Will, My Magic Wand, as you just said to me, she seems to be a special filly as she rattles off 3 wins in a row.
Yes, yeah, I mean, 3 wins in a row. She loves Aqueduct. We didn't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we thought if she passed this test again, facing winners, maybe we run her in the Broadway Stakes next month here, going 7 furlongs, and super proud of her. I mean, she's starting to become a little bit natural, like to train. She's becoming like real quiet, a little bit as in the summertime and the fall, she was a little antsy. She's laying down after she goes into her stall after her morning routine, and kind of starting to figure it out and really focus in the morning. And today she did it again, and really proud of her, happy for everyone. Got a good team with me working up here. You know, I'm just super proud and really happy for all the connections.
And as you said, your team here, this is the first time that you have your own string away from your dad who's down in Florida. How has this whole experience been? And, you know, well done kind of noticing the evolution of My Magic Wand and how she's turning into a racehorse.
Yeah, no, I mean, growing up, my dad always, kind of said, the better ones, they may lay down in the afternoon, relax, get off their legs and kind of, mentally kind of know what their job is and get prepared for their next upcoming race, and saw that with My Magic Wand. And I've been wanting to be on my own for a long time, but, my dad was kind of patiently waiting for the right time to do it. And we knew that we had My Magic Wand in the barn, and she's a New York bred, and we knew how talented she was. So we thought, we have to keep her up here and, keep a couple other ones that make sense to, run in the winter at Aqueduct.
Well, keep up the great work. Challenges training here at the Big A, or I should say at Belmont, and then racing here?
I mean, it's unbelievable. You look up, and it's some of the best trainers in the country, the best jockeys, and everyone's a professional. So for me, it's like I got to really step up my game, and I'm just starting out. So it's great to be around this type of people in this game, and I'm really excited to what's next.
Well done, you. Congratulations on a huge day, and best of luck. Looking forward to what My Magic Wand has for us in the future.
Thank you.
All right, Greg. Sounds like stakes are in the near future.
Yeah, we'll see. Putting together a nice little win streak here.
Well, she can run in a non-winners of 1 for open company. As a New York bred, she has that ability. She's a nice horse. She ran well today. Congratulations to them. Probably want to look at a non-winners of 1 for open. Not that those races are that easy, but obviously, listen, you win 3 straight races, you're allowed to think big.
And this pick 5, again, just 1 favorite in the sequence of the 3-1 favorite. Flat Out Flying, just under $10,000 coming back. So well done if you put that together.
Yeah.
We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back. We still have the nightcap to come on the Friday card from Tampa Bay down. It's going to close it out on the grass at a mile for fillies and mares 4 and up. Stay with us.
History remembers moments of extraordinary strength, skill, and determination. True greatness is forged by those who fulfill their destiny.
Enhance your handicapping with AI Fast Facts, exclusively on Naira Bets. Open your Naira Bets app, click View Runner Details, and a stat-driven fact will appear for all U.S. thoroughbred racehorses. Download the Naira Bets app to start using Fast Facts today.
RaceLens is the most in-depth product in horse racing, with unique features found nowhere else. True odds, predictive analysis, and pace projection. RaceLens. It will change the way you follow horse racing and take your game to the next level.
These New York bred foals represent many sires. War Dancer, Salamini, Honest Mischief, Central Banker. But they all have one thing in common. Starting in 2026, they'll be running for the same purse money as Open Company 2-year-olds at NYRA tracks. That's nearly 20% more than they run for now. Learn more about it at nybreds.com.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. RTN has packages that start at $5 per month.
Back with you on our Friday coverage. I'm just looking up this guy right here. I'm assuming it's the same one. There actually was an incident in February 2023, and rider Manny Jimenez avoided an incident, I'm assuming with that alligator who came onto the track. I had not heard about that.
You don't think they should run a contest where one patron gets picked to get eaten by the alligator? Yeah, that might be kind of interesting. What do you think?
Was crossing from a pond by the 7-furlong chute to the infield pond with its head on the inside rail.
A little scary.
Incredibly scary. Here's our post parade. Did not know that. Hopes and Dreams at 6-1.
Yeah, I thought it was a contender. I'm trying to get the race together. Hopes and Dreams, other two. Yeah, not impossible. You know, I probably not. Wants to go shorter. Sorry.
Runaway Diva 23-1.
Has to get better.
The Scarlet Poppy, Wesley Ward trying to win 3 in a row.
He's the horse to beat. I don't think she's supposed to be this big a favorite, but is the horse to beat. Ran a good figure last time.
Sweet Laura, 0 for 3 on the turf in the money.
I like this horse. When this horse was running the turf in her career, she was running sort of the same number she's running in the dirt. Now she's running faster figures. I think she's a little interesting in a price.
A 10-time winner overall. Those all on dirt. Timeless Rose went by. Here's the 7. Katie's a lady.
Yeah, both these horses are potential in the 7s to speed.
Yeah, 7-1 right now. Heaven Rules, huge number.
Probably want shorter.
Only try on the turf. Wasn't terrible, was it? Was in the mix until very late stages. The 9, No, 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 Never.
Yeah, that's about how I feel. Though did run Santa Anita in her past. Maybe some better horses.
And it's Hector Diaz Jr. on Victoria's Dancer to the outside, gets in, the also eligible.
Run against some better horses, run some fast figures, and is the second likeliest winner behind the favorite, right?
It comes out of a stakes race that I would say overmatched, was 103-1. So, yeah, a little bit easier company today. Favorite, though, again, this Wesley Ward filly, Scarlet Poppy, back-to-back wins, including on the stretch out last time out on December the 14th.
I think the surprising thing last time was that she rated and won, right?
Yeah.
You would have thought stretching out for Wesley Ward had shown speed at Aqueduct in her start before that when winning at a short price, and she ended up rating and win. Not good numbers for Wesley Ward stretching out in the turf. This horse is a bit of an anomaly with that. Most of his horses are better going shorter. You see those familiar Stowe Street silks, and she did well, but gets a little tougher today. I think this is a tougher spot that she was in last time.
And, she's gone just by her speed figures numbers backwards on occasion a little bit, but stretching out to a mile, that was the best number she's produced.
Oh, no, I agree. She may be a horse they wanted to go longer all around. I thought the 5 was kind of interesting. I used her better to win. I bet a 4 or 5 exact and a couple other small ones. Just a couple dollars, betting very small. And I made a 4 all 5 try, and then I used the 1 and 13, pressed them a little bit, 4 with 1 and 13 with the 5 third.
All right, this one will close out our live action again early tomorrow. And our coverage tomorrow, this one will have happened, but we'll let you know what played out. We begin on FS1 tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern time. Ladies happens at 12:40 Eastern.
One of the oldest stake races, I believe, run in this country. It wasn't that long ago, Greg. It was a 1.25 mile grade 1.
Really?
I remember like a 13 or 14 horse field in late November for this race. Another race that part of many that were usurped by that. The Breeders' Cup should be renamed The Blob. You know that movie, The Blob?
Yes.
With the Blob. You had to have loved that movie,
Great
kid,
movie.
right? You know Steve McQueen's in that movie?
Is he?
Yes, I believe Steve McQueen is in The Blob.
Yes, it was very young when I first saw that.
For moves like this, sort of eating everything in its way.
Tizzy in the Sky and Julia Shining. It looks like Todd Pletcher has a stranglehold on this race.
It's pretty good when you have the fastest two horses and one's a speed and one's a closer. It's a pretty good position to be in. I prefer her speed, but I'm actually hoping that Julia Shining runs really well. You know, I just like to see her get back to that potential she had and maybe start putting some races together because she's got a great pedigree and she obviously has some ability, but just trouble staying on the racetrack.
Yeah, looked like, midway stage of that race last time out, looked like she was beat off the bench, but yeah, won impressively. So yeah, can she build off that? That'll be fun to watch tomorrow. Again, we'll let you know what happened. That starts before we come on the air with our FS1 coverage at 1:30 Eastern.
I'm not.
We will save
I'm not
it.
discussing it.
Yeah.
I'm not. Greg will have to tell you because I'm going to be mum about the ladies. So I'm warning.
Stay off social media. Don't find out. Be surprised when we show you the recap.
Well, you know, we've had incidents where there have been, members of our team have said there were things they wouldn't talk about on the air. I'm going to refuse to talk with the ladies. That's my position. I'm sticking there.
All right, Scarlet Poppy here to close things out in Tampa for Wesley Ward, the 4. Odds-on favorite, Jason Beam, the call.
Holding at that 9-2 price. Going to be the last one to join. She goes in. They're in the gate. And the race is on. Heaven Rules in the purple colors goes out to the early advantage down to the inside the last bullet's mine. Hopes and Dreams right there as they cross over into the main track. It's going to be Heaven Rules just in front. The last bullet's mine right outside that one. Hopes and Dreams. Victorious Dancer starting to move up on the outside is now up to a joint second as now 3 of them lining up on the top end. Then comes a lineup of 4. The last bullet's mine. Scarlet Poppy's in that second flight as is Runaway Diva and then way out wide Katie's a Lady. It's another length then back to Sweet Laura. No, 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 never is second last. And 3 more back to Timeless Rose who trails. Up on the front end, it's Heaven Rules the leader. Heaven Rules, 3/4 of a length after that opening quarter in 23 2/5 seconds. Leads them up the back stretch to Hopes and Dreams. The last bullet's mines toward the inside, just 2 lengths adrift, is back in third. Scarlet Poppy is 4th. Right outside of that one, Victorious Dancer. They race together now as they're a length clear. Down along the inside, No, 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 never starts to make up some ground. Runaway Divas in that next flight. And advancing on the outside, Katie's a Lady. Sweet Laura with 1 beat, and that's Timeless Rose who continues to trail. 47 seconds for an opening half mile. Long shot, Heaven Rules. Leads them around the far turn. Hopes and Dreams getting closer now in that second spot. Scarlet Poppy along with the last bullet's mine. They're 3rd and 4th. Victorious Dancer dropping back a touch is 5th, being joined by Runaway Diva as they come to the top of the stretch. Heaven Rules still there. Heaven Rules just in front of Hopes and Dreams. Scarlet Poppy on the outside has 3/16 of a mile to push on by. They have just over a furlong left to go. Hopes and Dreams down on the inside. Heaven Rules. Runaway Diva's made up some ground. Scarlet Poppy still plugging away on the outside. 60 pull now. Scarlet Poppy starting to level off, and Scarlet Poppy takes command. Hopes and Dreams late run. Sweet Laura. Scarlet Poppy's going to win it. 4 horses right across the track there for second. It was between Runaway Diva, Sweet Laura, Hopes and Dreams. I think just in behind them was the last bullet's mine.
Scarlet Poppy, just like last time, rolling late. Now 3 in a row. And
it's like a mirror image for last race, right?
It really was. Sweet Laura, who you liked, had only 1 horse beat midway through this race and then may have got second here.
Yeah, I think she was 3rd. I think I have to try. I'm not sure if she got 3rd or 2nd or whatever, but I bet her also because it's your wife's name.
I thought
so when you get home tonight, I want you to tell Laura, unlike you, I like the horses that, because of her name.
How do you know I didn't put any money on this?
You're just realizing it now.
I did.
You were hoping to slide out with my bringing it up is what you were really trying to do. And it was fun. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Favorite closes things out at Tampa. Again, we'll let you know what happens in that ladies. Couple of stakes, 3 of them, in fact, from Tampa Bay on our Saturday coverage. Coverage begins 1:30 Eastern. Fox Sports 1, we will see you then. We roll all the way till 5 o'clock. We're on FS1, 1:30 to 4, FS2 from 4 to 5. And we got a packed Saturday.
Leave.
Not just all those stakes races here. We got a pick 6 carryover at Aqueduct.
It's all happening. And I got to find out what happened at Tampa.
Yeah, head to Naira Bets and see who got second in there. It was tight. My Magic won 3 straight to take this nightcap at Aqueduct in a 3-1 day for Manny Franco as well. Nutella Fella, shocker, winning in that hope was a grade 1 as a 2-year-old. Only 1 race back as a 3-year-old. Hit the board in the Woody Stevens. Returns tomorrow on the 9th from Tampa. We'll have that for you. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. We'll see you at 1:30 Eastern on FS1 tomorrow.